The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, all losing my control.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the chat. How is everybody doing tonight? We got Mr. Doomsday Jane and Mr. Joe Montaldo. They're in the back enjoying some coffee, tea, cookies, whatever we have set up, what I set up for our guests tonight. Well, they are the guests tonight. But what a week, huh? Hey, Carol, good to see you. What a week, though. I know the last 2, 3 days up here from the Canadian wildfires up there, Pittsburgh got hit really hard, and I'm sure half of the United States got the same as we did. It was really crazy. I had a hard time breathing. I tried to stay in as much as you can. Last night, I did go to Med Express, and they gave me a breathing treatment. It was just so damn terrible. And I hear, and I'm not sure, but I read that Trump or somebody in our government are trying to contact, the people up in Canada. I know Trump was upset because, they don't take care of their forests, like we do here. And some people were comparing it to the California fires that we usually got. But, for a fact that Trump actually did something about that. And I guess they have more control over their forest fires. You can look at, the forest fires as something good, and you can also look at it like something's bad. The good part about it is that all the old trees, they get burnt down, and new ones pop up. But the bad thing is, what the bad one is because, it causes all kinds of all kinds of sickness, and a lot of people, you know, got really sick. I know that yesterday around like all afternoon here in Pittsburgh, it's called the Maroon area, where it was just like extremely, extremely bad. I did post some pictures on my Facebook page showing what the city of Pittsburgh looked like. And it just reminded me, well, I showed my mom and my uncles and stuff. And, we really didn't really were concerned about it, especially my mom. Well, with her breathing and that, but this is how they grew up back in the 60s and 70s when the steel mills here in Pittsburgh were going. Okay. If you happen to go and Google pictures of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, back in the 60s and 70s when steel mills were coming, my mom tells me stories all the time that they would go to school or go to work or whatever, and they'd be walking in smoke. There'd be soot all over the place. It was terrible, until I want to say the EPA, but I'm not sure it was EPA, but they came up with ideas to where they got rid of the smoke and they started to run the mills with clean. It wasn't so smoggy and so dirty. But you don't know what you're encountering. Um, it was crazy yesterday and the day before. It felt like I was on a camping trip. Be honest with you, like I was sitting around a campfire, and it was just weird. And what was really really crazy was that if the sun was out, okay, but it was a bright orange sun. There was no sun; it was orange. And just it was like something that we were totally unprepared for. But I look at it like this for me and me only. Okay, this is for me. Was that that stuff happens, and I talk about this on my show. That stuff stuff happens that we have no control over. You know what I mean? And what can we do? What can we do? We can bitch, we can complain, we can yell at the government, we can yell at whoever we want to yell at, but it's not going to change the situation that we're in right now. You know, and um, we just have to accept it and
Well,
just
this whole time
continue
I was
moving
talking, I thought
on
my
in our
mic was on. It was
lives.
off.
Yeah, your mic was off, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I was
Oh,
trying to
my
reply to
cricket.
some of
You
your
ever
things.
hear my cricket? That,
No,
but
what cricket?
yeah. So, go ahead, Jay.
You got a cricket? What cricket? I didn't hear it.
Go ahead, buddy.
You said you had a
Oh,
cricket. What
okay.
cricket?
On my phone. Oh, so on my phone, whenever lightning is away, like 5 miles away, then the cricket goes off on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Chirp, chirp.
that's why I like it. Yeah,
Yeah, we
it
got hit pretty
sounds
hard with
like
the
a
rain here
cricket.
just a little bit ago.
Yeah, but you're further down south than I am.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it hasn't rained here yet, and that's what's crazy about this, Jay. Honest to Pete, is that they forecast rain all the time. You know, and it don't come.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
it
it's
rained
again.
last. I know it rained last night pretty hard. Hey, Mark Eddie. I know it rained hard, but that was like at like 3 or 4 in the morning, dude. Not during the daytime,
Right.
you know. But what was nice about today, especially up in Pittsburgh, was it was hotter than hell,
Yeah.
you know, and that bad air that from the fires like this dissipated, and you could actually smell clean air, you know, and it wasn't too humid. So
Right.
hopefully we're on a downfall, not a downfall, but you know, spiraling down to where it's going to get cool again with less humidity and stuff like that. What was it like down by you?
Well, it was I took Diane's brother to Harper's Ferry, Charlestown, West Virginia, to a new hotel. He's going to stay there for a week. And then just after we dropped him off, it was started coming down, and it was torrential. I mean, it was you know a hurricane force rain, really big drops, lots of them, lots of lightning, and there was a tornado watch. I think it just ended like at 7 in in the area around here, or at least in West Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia. I don't know if it hit Pennsylvania, but yeah, they had tornado warning, hurricane force, level rains. Um, and so I drove through that, and it basically stopped right when I got home. It's like only an hour drive, but 40 of those minutes was all just pure, red downpour.
Yeah, see, whenever I get a torrential downpour, I pull over. I
That
don't
was the
care
word I
where
was
I'm
looking
at,
for.
man. Torrential?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't remember that word. Yeah, it was torrential. Absolutely. That
Okay.
is the exact word.
And but when it gets that bad, I just pull over and I wait till it lets up because I do not like driving in torrential downpours.
Hmm.
I don't mind driving when it's raining, but when it's raining so hard that you just can't see in front of you, man, it's time for me to pull over. You know, I
Yeah.
don't want to hit somebody, and I don't want somebody to hit me. You know. You there, Jay?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Okay.
was looking at something else on the internet. What did you ask me a question?
No, no, just one.
Trying to
I
trying to find some
I
news
kind
for
of
us to talk
forgot what
about.
I forgot what I wanted to say, and so I was hoping that you
Uh,
would pop in. I want to know. I
uh,
would like to talk.
I
I
was
would
searching
like to.
the news banners right now to see what anything is news. The only thing that's really breaking is uh, nothing. I mean, it's slow. FIFA is the top, and then the Iran conflict, but nothing
And
new.
that's getting old too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
But
is.
I would like. I don't know if you guys talked about it last night or not. how ABC and who was it? NBC didn't air the president's speech.
Yeah, he was kind of upset about that. I actually
Yeah.
didn't. We did. I don't think we actually did talk about it. I don't think we heard about it. I didn't hear about it till after the show right before I went to bed. I heard it on the news.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Kara says, I'm listening, but been doing things around the house. I'm here, though. Just tell it me if you don't reply. Okay, not a problem. Food porn again, dude. Wow.
Yeah, I just put something
Oh,
up there.
just yell at you. Okay. I
I'm
will
gonna try
yell
to
at you,
generate
Kara.
something.
What, food porn?
It's just in the background for now. I'm gonna try to make a new one. We don't have
Oh,
anything for the
okay.
chat. Someone deleted all the chat backgrounds for some reason.
I wonder why. But yeah, it kind of blew me away that, you know what? It didn't surprise me that ABC and NBC didn't do it. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show you, one, okay, that those two, um, ABC and NBC, are, like, what's it called? The news that you just, they want you to hear and not want to hear. I think Hitler did it. Um,
Propaganda.
yeah, they didn't want to hear what Trump had to say. But my question would be like, how were the ratings besides that? I bet they were pretty crappy and shit. You know what I mean? And I just lost all respect for those two channels. You know what I mean? Um, and
Yeah.
it's so hard for me to understand. Now, when it comes to ABC, who calls the shots? Disney or ABC?
Well, no, they have their own. They have their own CEO, but I mean, I'm sure he's got his boss at Disney that he's got to run things by. But yeah, kind of, sort of.
Well, that kind of sucks, don't you think? That'd be just like putting the nail in the coffin for Disney and Paramount and all them.
No, because Disney can just cut them off like a bad arm and just let them go. Yeah, kind of like what NBC did with MSNBC. They can just go, oop, whatever, see you later, or they can fire his ass and put someone else in charge that they want, that will do what they want, that kind of thing.
But why, being a major news outlet and not wanting to hear what the president has to say? That baffles me.
Technically, it should be against the Constitution. It's like free speech and what have you. I think they might have violated that.
Why? But true. But what's the thing Obama wrote where the news can say whatever in the hell they want to say?
No, I don't know. I think Trump turned that off. Whatever it was, Trump turned it off.
I don't think he can.
It was an executive order. He undid it.
I mean, do you know how
He spent the first
do the news
like
at
month of his first
CNN,
administration undoing everything
NBC,
Obama
and ABC?
did.
Okay.
So,
But it was something about the news. I forget what it was. Then, if he abolished it, then why did they rip on Trump back in
it's
2016?
because it's him. They all have TDS. They're chomping at the bit for any reason to attack him, for whatever reason.
Don't they realize that they got 2 more years of him?
Huh? How many what?
Do they realize there's only 2 more years? Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do when he gets out. They're not going to have anyone or anything to bitch and moan about.
No.
They're going to have to, manufacture things to complain about once this is over.
Unless they go off on Rubio or J.D. Vance. You know what I mean?
Well, whoever, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Republican who takes the next office. So, not too worried about them getting any kind of control here.
But you know
Oh, no
that
wonder
I heard.
no wonder my news sucked. It's a Yahoo search, not a Google search. Let me fix that.
But I heard or I read, and I don't believe. Well, I could believe, but Tulsi Gabbard might be running for the Democratic Party.
I've heard that
And
rumor,
for
but she needs, if she wants to start running for them, she needs to start running now because they have no momentum at all. And she needs to, start gathering as much momentum as she can. If she's going to do a presidential bid for 2028, she needs to start campaigning right now. I mean, like she should have started, I would say, in January to get enough, speed going for the midterms.
but don't you think? Oh, for the midterms, okay. I'm talking about presidency.
Yeah, but you still though you want your foot in that door. I mean, is she currently on a Senate seat right now?
No,
Okay, so then she has the
no.
perfect opportunity to do start a running campaign if she's going to do that. Um, that way, she may not be primaried during these upcoming midterms. However, she gets her voice and her name out there, all it will do is help improve her chance for president.
Well, that's true, but you know what? Her name and voice are out there already, and I believe this is how I think that there's a lot of people who are Republicans would vote for her.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but I mean, that's not coming from her. All this presidential talk, presidential bid, these aren't words coming from her. They're coming from
Right,
around her. It doesn't mean it's coming from her. It just means these
right.
people wish she would. So I don't think she's. I honestly don't think she's going into it. To be honest with you.
Well, I don't know. That would be something. That would be a good card. See,
Who the
if it
hell are
would
you
be
two talking about?
none.
Tulsi
Well, you
Gabbard
haven't.
running for president.
Yeah, and
I
on
would
the
have more
Democratic
answers.
on the Democratic card.
She can't run Democrats. I won't let her.
Why won't they?
She's a traitor. She said Obama committed treason.
Oh, she signed her death warrant, right?
She ain't going to run as a. Now, she might get Democratic people to vote for her if she runs as an independent or a Republican. But
Okay. What do you think, Joe? What do you think?
think of it this way. She ran against Harris. What was it, 2016, I believe? No, 2020. And she polled way higher than Harris did. But
Mhm.
can she beat J.D. Vance or Martha Rubio? No. No. Maybe if her husband dies, she can get some sympathy vote. But I don't think she'd make a good VP though. She'd make a scary VP actually.
Do you
She'd be
think?
like Darth Cheney, only female, and
No, I don't
more.
think she'll go that low. I don't think she'll get that low, dude.
Wasn't necessarily
know,
that Darth was low, but
Because Cheney was, ooh, he ran the United States, did he not, Joe?
mostly
Bush
there was
was
some things.
Bush
There was
was
some things Bush wouldn't let him have control of, but for the most part, he did. Bush said, "Look, I need you to do this, this, and this." Cheney was way more feared than Bush was, even though Bush's dad was still alive. Cheney was still more scary. That's why we all called him Darth Cheney, because he was fucking evil. I mean, come on, guy got a heart transplant, went fucking back to work in a week.
Yes, he got a, was it a pig's heart transplant?
Whatever it was significant. I remember it was a big deal.
Yeah, I think we got a pig's heart transplanted in there.
He lived what, another 30 years, 40 years.
Something, yeah.
I mean, he just died about a decade, but not even that long ago.
Well, those polls should be coming out soon, guys, right? The
For what?
Do they
There's
have
all kind of
polls
polls out. So
No.
all the polls right now, if you go with your typical national polls, show Trump's numbers low. Even the other day they said that the working class, our little favorite guy over in CNN said the working class has turned against Trump. It's 45-65. I'm like, dude, that's 110. You don't know how to count, apparently. But he said that. But today, two big poll companies came out and said that the elder population and the working population are pro-Trump. That's why you can't trust any poll that you know that came out of a liberal polling company like CNN.
And
The
NPR.
Washington Post ISOP poll today tried to say he was like at 39%. And the other poll, which was a New York Times CINA poll, has him at 39%, but all the rest of the polls have him at 49%. So it's real polling numbers. We got him. We polled him a week ago with 26,000 polls, 26,000 votes, and he was polling at 47%, which is actually good for a second-term president.
Mm-hmm. Well, we should be starting to talk about those shortly, huh?
Yeah, actually, we are in. Well, midterm really hasn't kicked in yet for some reason. You haven't really seen anybody out there running or getting into fights yet or anything. They should be, but they're not. And everybody's like, oh, well, Trump's going to doom his party in midterms. Well, no, that's not what the voters said. The voters said that they weren't going to vote according to Trump's agenda. They want to vote according to the person. So I don't know if it's going to hurt him or not. It's hard to say. 4, 5. Where are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing all kinds of stuff. What the bleep is going on?
What's wrong?
We're just missing destinations. That's all. It's,
Oh, yeah, your rumbles aren't up.
Yeah, but we were also missing a Facebook. I mean, YouTube. That was weird.
No, I did check those. I thought you had it all set up and ready to go.
I'd set up everything earlier, but I can't set up the rumbles because and I don't know why we were short of whatchamacallit page. That didn't make any sense. But we'll leave it and see what it says.
We got a massive thunderstorm right now, so if I lose my internet, that's what happened.
Yeah, I've been, we're going to probably have some weather later in the week. We got some little tropical or wannabe tropical storm out by Florida. We'll see what happens.
Does the weather come from Florida into Mississippi or from Mississippi into Florida?
Usually it comes west to east. Most weather, okay. Same way the jet streams run. It runs west to east. But when you get hurricanes, are different. Lows can form anyway, and they can go anywhere they want. So they'll head inward. But that's why if a high's pushing, it'll push the storm away from us. If there's no highs, the lows just go wherever they feel like going, wherever they can get the most water, less resistance. What drives a hurricane is the lack of resistance to the direction it's headed.
Okay.
Like winds on the top, shearing wind, stuff like that makes a difference where it's going to go.
Do you get a lot of tornadoes down there by you?
Yeah, we get a decent amount of tornadoes. Anytime, because it's worse like in the middle parts of the states, because that's where a lot of the weather collides, like in mid-Mississippi, upper Louisiana, mid Texas, stuff like that. That's the warm air from the Gulf migrating up, and the cold air from the north coming down. They run into each other, and then they go ape shit. It's like a little mini war is what it is. But it gets insane, dude. I mean, really, it gets crazy. What is this? POL? Yeah, POL. Setting this up as we're talking. Where's that sexy beast band? I made a chat band with our 3 faces on it, but I don't see it anymore.
Oh, it wasn't in there. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, this was something I made on my computer.
Oh, I just rattled this one off while we were on air because we didn't have anything.
Yeah, well, I did those other two, but they didn't put any words on it for some reason. I just typed in the title of the show, and it produced those two, which were weird, strange kind of looking banners. And I guess it was trying to represent the future and the civilization. I don't know what the hell it was doing. It was just weird. It's what are you doing? I'm not trying to upload anything. Stop it.
What's that knocking sound?
That was Jay typing.
It might be me typing, yeah.
He types hard sometimes.
I don't know.
Oh, a lot of people do. It's not like it's a Jay thing. It's just a thing. Okay. No, we're not uploading anything. What the heck is wrong with you here?
How was your weather down in Mississippi, brother?
Right now, it's hot. It's beautiful, but hot.
Did you get any of the Canadian fires?
Nah, we're too far south for that. But what we do get is the dust from China.
Huh.
Really?
We're getting desert dust. Yeah, it happens every so many years. This is why I tell people all the time, most of the Heartland Downs get it. That's why I tell people, we can't nuke China. Nuking China is nuking us. All that shit from China, and it's like if Russia nuked us, it's like they nuked China. Because all that radiation would spill over China and Europe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't just randomly nuke one country. That's not how it's going to work out. Iran can suck my dick, Jamie. How's that?
I typed in news on the flip side in the background generator, and this is what it gave us. It doesn't say news on the flip side on it, but look at that. Isn't that weird?
Wait. Don't move it yet. I'm a screen away. So I'm looking for a banner. Okay.
Like screen away.
Yeah. I haven't, no screen yet. Oh, the Daily Chronicle. It likes doing some of these old style newspapers sometimes, like what it did to US One, the cover one the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get rid of it because I'm gonna say news on the flip side.
Yeah, we're gonna use it.
I just typed in the show's name, and that's what came up.
Yeah, but let's see. Where's the banner generator at? Let me just type in.
It went off.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Let's just do it this way. Now, some of these times it won't let me generate a banner of like certain things in the title. Like on the civilization thing, I had to change it from started to begin. Okay, wait, here's one. Let's see what this looks like. Let's put it on the screen. So people, this is why artists hate AI, because of this right here. That took less than a second to create. You know how much it would cost you to have somebody make that for you? $1,000.
Oh, I got something to tell you. I work with a girl that her mother's an art teacher. And I asked them, because I met the mom, and I said, well, what do you think of AI? And she says, I do not like it. But on the other hand, it helps me.
It does.
It does make a lot of stuff really easy.
It does do that.
But,
I mean, because now you got this base picture here. You can look at this picture, and then you can type in, the whole thing about this picture, and then whatever changes you want to make, and it'll make it. Not on this system. This system isn't set up like this. We don't have true AI. We got something else. That's a badass picture.
Yeah, it is.
You can put that on anything, man. Now, Sean, there's a segment of the show you might want to leave for.
Oh, what is it?
A scientist prove what ghosts are.
Oh.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that one, and I'll just say it's a bunch of bullshit. And
No. They prove what ghosts are. You can't say it's bullshit. It's proof. It's proof in the pudding. Yeah.
Maybe I will put that on my show tomorrow night. So do tell.
Sounds like I ain't fucking with these people. Fuck these. He said, I ain't fucking with these people. It's
I just believe that ghosts don't exist.
No, they didn't say ghosts didn't exist. They said they can tell you what they are.
Oh, okay.
So they're not saying they don't exist. Well,
Other
they might be saying what you think is a ghost don't exist, but what they think
Right.
a ghost does exist. Yeah, I know shit gets coming.
But then again, you got your whatever it's called,
Rendition?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because the people at CERN think I'm right. They think ghosts are dimensional bleed through. So I got big scientists backing me up. But it's they also say the same thing I do. Dimensional bleed through does explain a third of ghost. It does not explain the other 2/3. So you always have to be clear when I'm speaking about this at lectures, because a lot of my paranormal friends get upset. So, it's not the fact that I'm saying all ghosts are dimensional bleed through, but I am saying at least a third are. And we can prove it because of some of the things that the people are witnessing is something that's a live being. It may not be in your house, maybe in your house in another dimension, but you're talking to someone who's alive, not to someone who's dead. And there's just a difference. And then the other ones are, and then like I do, some ghosts are just simply images left behind, like a video running in a loop.
exactly.
I mean, that's all they are. And then there's like a true haunting. But paranormal people are their own worst enemies because they don't distinguish between them. And ufology teaches you have to distinguish between things so that people actually think that they're real. If you don't, they're just like, well, no, they just start picking and choosing what they want. But when you do it this way, we just gave ghosts 3 ways to exist to 3 different groups of people. So now you're not just limiting yourself to just ghosty people. Now you've brought in science, you brought in other people, you brought in people who would not normally think about ghosts. So it's how you expand an audience. It's how you get more people involved in your own research. Yeah, Jesse, I've been doing this a long time.
Which is true, Joe. Back in when was it, 2005, 2006, when I started the group. Okay, there was a big split down the middle between your spiritual people and your scientific people, and I'm all for what the scientists, what I'm about to hear. I'm all for it. But my concern would be, Joe, that these 3 different types of groups are going to duke it out with each other. And I'm hoping that maybe that these 3 groups of people can come together and work something out. I don't want to see no more. I don't want to see no more fighting.
What you're going to actually see is, and as long as it's just not some crazy ass retard, what you're going to actually see is you're going to see people talking about it. So you'll see a concession. You'll say, okay, well, I do believe. So the first thing that's going to get cleared up is the ghosts that are just timestamps or whatever you want to call them. Okay, nobody has a problem with those on any side. Not even science really. The science do believe that maybe a moment could be trapped in time. So even they'll concede that there's a possibility for that. So that one right there is fine. Now, when you start talking about seeing your dead relatives, that brings up all kinds of emotions. And when you talk about just hauntings in general, that brings up another set of emotions. So those people are going to have but they'll have common ground because they will be able to agree on the middle. So as far as they're concerned, they've already agreed that ghosts exist. Now we're just agreeing to the details of ghosts exist. And sometimes you'll just have to agree to disagree because that's what's going to happen. But then sometimes you'll agree to say, okay, dimensional bleed through is a plausible thing for this type of activity. And these type of hauntings, whether demonic or something else, are plausible because of this group of circumstances. Then people can identify easier with it. They start to understand it better. And even though they may not agree 100%, they do find common ground. ICAR's built on that. I mean, we built this organization so that we knew from day one that not everyone was going to agree.
Right.
It was designed to have confrontation in it, and it was designed so that the confrontation would help propel the organization into something.
Wait, you also got to put it in historical time perspective as well, and not to make a pun of it, but go back 30, 40 years, 80s, 70s, 80s, time travel was still really quite highly theoretical. Most people didn't believe it existed or it was possible. We didn't think what was it they discovered in quantum physics or what have you about Dimensions. We weren't sure about dimensions either. So like we weren't certain that extra dimensional areas existed, like dimension X or whatever you want to call it, where there's extra dimensional beings that are like us, just on another plane of existence, whatever you want to call it. We back then, 40 years ago, all that was still hypothetical. Recently, I don't know how long ago it was, but recently I think it was the guys at CERN. They said dimensions are there. We found them. We've scientifically verified that the extra dimensions are out there, so we know that those are real. So it's a new time. It's a new mindset now that we have that information that dimensions are out there, that we can do this. But if you were to say this, 30, 40 years ago, you'd be locked up in a padded room with a jacket with extra long sleeves on it.
Well, you know what? I had a show on CERN. Was last week, and I'm saying to myself, why do we need CERN?
The CERN tells us a lot about a lot of things.
Hey, Sean, let me ask you a question. What concerns you about CERN?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
See what I did there?
Shut the hell up, dude.
Just fucking slap his ass.
No, man, that was bad. No, I'm saying
that was bad. That was bad, Joe. CERN. Look, so CERN helped prove the Higgs boson, the God particle.
But they didn't help. They proved it.
Well, no. The premise of the Higgs boson was already accepted. It just
they're just the ones that proved it.
CERN just showed that. Oh yes, you smash this atom hard enough, and guess what we found? And it's not just that, they found a bunch of other stuff. Plus, they're going to start adding new stuff to the periodic table, because as they smash atoms in different ways and different places.
They already have. Pentium. I think they call it Moscovium now, but element 115 and like two others have been added to the.
But I'm talking. They're gonna be starting to have.
Hey, Rosanna.
Add more.
You're gonna start seeing this on a more frequent thing. Now CERN's shut down for right now because all the conspiracy people say it was flipping us through timelines, so they had to turn it off. And I know a lot about the way CERN works, but I don't really see how it would change our time.
I see. Okay, Joe. I'm not debating. I agree with you 100%. But what got me not concerned? It got me concerned. Listen to all these conspiracy theorists saying all this shit about CERN, and I'm like.
And you know what? You know what's the scariest part about all that is none of the conspiracy theories actually talk about what CERN could really do. So when you smash an atoms to find new particles, you never know when you might release an explosion because you smashed two particles together that created something 1,000,000 times bigger than an atomic bomb, and you just wiped out two continents. That is the danger of CERN. But other than that, causing black holes and stuff like that, CERN doesn't move fast enough to do that. And it's not going around the planet; it's going around inside its own system. It's enclosed. Right.
But it's still where it is. It should be somewhere else, like in the center of Antarctica, where if it does explode.
Well, no, you know why they didn't put it in the center of Antarctica? They were scared. They were scared that CERN, as big as it is, would be at the top or bottom. They said it would increase the precession of the planet. It would increase the wobble of the planet by 1 or 2 degrees, which could be catastrophic. So they said it can't.
So why couldn't they set it on the in such a way that it reverses the wobble we have? Because our planet isn't supposed to be wobbling. It should be standing up. It should be like, on a stick, standing straight up and then spinning.
But the wobble is what gives us our seasons. We don't want to fuck with that. We want the wobble to stay.
I don't want winter. Fuck you, man. Get the winter out of
here, man. You know what? I don't want 8 months of summer either. So fuck that.
Well, how about?
Well, that's a good
6 months of summer and then 6 months of spring.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue into what I wanted to ask you guys. Now, what about no more daylight savings time? I love it.
I love it. It's a fantastic idea. Stupidest idea ever. Just to change it so that it appears to be extra hour later.
Back in the day when they did it, it was useful. It helped add more daylight to the farmers, and not just the farmers, but all the wars we were fighting, and it gave us more daylight to build and stuff. So and to fight. But we don't live that way anymore. It's not what our society is. Our society is much different now. We don't need that. Farmers are so automated
now, yeah.
But even so, farmers aren't. They're mostly automated now, and because we're taking illegals away from them, they're getting even more automated.
Well, but also the 30, 40, well, maybe not 30, 40, maybe go back 50 years. We weren't 24/7. So like all of the television stations, and we had five. We had channel 5, 7, 9, 20, and 26. So those are the five stations we had. And then they all went off at midnight. Every one of them at midnight, and boom, you get the test pattern, and then that would stay on for like a minute, and then you get for 6 hours until morning. You did nothing but snow and.
Yeah, you know, that was just
we weren't 24/7. That's part of the problem. We don't need daylight savings time. People are, my job, for example, I have to be out of the house by 5:30, at the job at 6 a.m. I'm in there for 12 hours. I get out. I'm home at 6, and I do that for 3 days. My fourth day is a 6-hour day. I do this. I have to be either 6 to 12, and then I have half of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off. It's a 3.5-day weekend. It's most amazing. But I don't need daylight savings time because I can sleep whenever I want to. My schedule is on the weekends, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm doing all kinds of stuff, like on the radio with you guys and games with my friends on Saturday. So I'm always doing something. I don't need the daylight savings time. I don't care what time it is.
I tell you what, that daylight savings time, honest to God, messes me up all the time, every year.
Yeah,
it really does.
You're always late for work, once or twice that first week that it switches over until you get used to it. Yeah, it's stupid.
It's time for
then you got to change the clock in your car. One year I said F it, and I didn't change my time. I didn't.
And then you were always an hour early, weren't you?
Nope.
Or an hour late, depending on what time of year it was. Yeah.
Nope. Not at all, buddy.
Well,
I don't want to see daylight.
I just turned the funk. There's a setting in my, the clock. My car has a TV screen, touch screen thing, and it has settings and blah blah blah. It's like really advanced. But I turned it from daylight savings time on to having it off, so it doesn't do it automatically now, because they're turning it off. So fuck it. Thank God. I've always hated, even as a kid, I hated it because I was like, oh man, that means I got to get up at 5 instead of 6 to go to school.
I hate to say this though, I may miss it in the wintertime because see, right now, when we go in, if we don't change times, when we go into winter, it's not going to be getting dark here until 8 o'clock. That sucks. It used to get dark at 5:15.
Yeah, we'll be getting dark in the fall, probably around 7-ish, 8-ish at the latest if they don't switch it. If they switch it, it'd be like 9. And then in the winter, and then in the summertime, we would be getting dark at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the peak of it, maybe 10 o'clock. The latest would be really sunny, and then that's when sunset is. But I'm okay with that. I'd rather have a longer evening in the summer, and I'm sure most of the kids who go to school and are off for 3 months would rather have a longer day for summer than they would in the wintertime.
I don't think the parents would like that.
Well, no, it's an extra hour that they can keep the kids out of the house. It's an extra hour at camp, an extra day at camp, an extra week at camp.
How about the ones that don't go to camp?
Yeah,
you lock them out.
Man. Yeah, that's what that is. Goddamn, I'm crazy.
If you ever learn this trick, you lock them the fuck out. Hey,
no, you can't.
You can't do that. You can't do that today. You can't do that today.
They can put you in jail. You lock your kids out today, buddy.
I'm just kidding.
You'll be in prison.
They'll
put you in jail if you lock your damn dog out. What are you talking about?
So nowadays, yeah, but 50 years ago they wouldn't. You locked your kid out? Yeah, why?
But Jay, it's not 50 years ago. It's now. I'll tell you.
It's a joke, dude. Relax. It was a joke.
I'm relaxed. It's the way I talk, according to everybody. It's the way I talk.
Don't get old man stroke.
But 1988, when I was married, there was a kid where his father grounded him by by sending him to his room, right? So the kid got on his phone. He called CYS, Child Youth Services. His dad was arrested for a week, okay, because the kid said that he was mistreating him. And they came. They took the father. He was in jail for a week, man, and was all big
That's
guy. And he got all mad. The kid got mad because his dad sent him to his room. And
I
that's
used
a
to
true
try to
story.
I used to try to
That's
make
a-
myself get in trouble just so my parents would send me to my room. You know why? I used to build models. So my mom said at 2 o'clock in the afternoon after I got home from school, so I was already in trouble. Go to your room until your father gets home. I'm like, okay. I'd be up there until the next 4 hours building a model with like four bottles of paint opened up and a tube of glue. And I wasn't sniffing the glue
Yeah, now
like
we know
the
what's wrong
accordion.
with you. All that
But
oil
but
paint
the
and
fumes are in
glue,
the air.
man.
Yeah, you're getting the
Jesus.
That's
He's high
funny.
as fuck, man. Oh my god. Oh my.
Star Trek
There
episode.
you go. Okay, Kara said some of my daughter's cousins get locked out of their house by their mom all day. Interesting.
Shh, they're gonna come for you now.
Every time my mom grounded me, all I had to do was piss her off until she'd tell me to get out of the house. Not when I was young, Kara.
That's how I
No,
used to get the keys out of my mom and my grandma. I just bugged the shit out of them until finally get out.
not me, man. I got
Or
my
my
ass
favorite thing was when I get grounded from the car, because it happened regularly, by the way. I'd say, okay, mom, we'll go to stuff. So I can't go to stuff. She's like, well, I said grounded from the car. Ah, fuck you little fucking asshole. You're grounded another week now. I'm like, Mom, no. Like, you said I'm grounded. I can't go to stuff. You man, fucking store. I said, take some time off, Mom. I'd negotiate, get a day or two of taking off. By the time it was over, but after about 2 days, she's like, fuck you, just leave me alone. No, I had a good mom. I was riding kid. Yeah, I didn't know what reality was until my dad passed away at 16. Actually,
Well, I'll tell you what.
16.
I will tell you
Though,
this.
about the differences in the time frames, though. I mean, we're talking about the differences in some of the punishments that have happened. Some of the things that I think are most ridiculous, are like within maybe the last 20 years, and on this seaboard or here on the eastern seaboard, I think not California, shockingly enough, but one of the incidences involved a child. And I don't remember, it was grade school under like 10th grade or whatever, but how old was the kid? 8, 10, 11, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. But in the cafeteria at lunch, he took his peanut butter and jelly sandwich that his mother made for him, and he bit it into the shape of a crude shape of a pistol or a handgun. And he looked at his friend, he went pew pew pew, and then he started eating it again. And the principal evicted him from school for 2 weeks or something to that effect. For that, pew pew pewing with a peanut butter jelly gun, stupidest thing ever. That's not bringing a gun to school. That's like the people are so like it was just ridiculous. But then I think this was in Virginia. This is even worse. So no knives. Don't bring any weapons to school. So no folding knives, no steel knives, no switchblades, yada yada yada. I understand that. Well, this mother put in a plastic knife, like the kinds you might get at a deli counter or a fast food restaurant. Put a plastic knife in her child. I don't know again what the age was, but it's grade school. Put a plastic knife in the lunch bag so the child could cut something in the food, or a sandwich, some vegetable, something. I don't know what, but it had something that required a knife to cut it. Maybe it was a lasagna. I don't know. Anyway, the kid wasn't suspended from school. The kid was ejected completely from the school system for just a plastic knife that anyone knows. Most of those plastic knives, you can run it across your carotid artery like a saw for an hour and a half, and you're not going to even break even the capillaries. Yet they kicked this kid out of school permanently for a plastic butter knife.
They're lucky they didn't shoot them, Jay.
The intensity level of these kind of infractions has just gone over the top, in my opinion.
They're lucky they didn't shoot them. My son in high school, his high school had metal detectors, and he had to go through them from ninth grade through being a senior year. He had to go through a metal detector. We had a metal. Had a metal detector.
Yeah, we never had that. They started implementing them after we got out. Probably after I got out, way after you guys got out, because you guys were a few years ahead of me. But in the parking lot from 1980 to 1984, this when I was in high school, in the parking lot we had 3 or 4 or 5 kids who drove their father's pickup trucks, and in the backs of the windows of those was either one or two rifles. Sometimes there were no rifles because the father was out hunting with his other vehicle while the son was using, the beater car. But there were literally rifles and shotguns. Anyone could have busted the windows of these things and gotten them out, and had a little fun time shooting teachers with it.
I actually had.
There's all this stigma about school shootings.
I actually had.
In the parking lot.
In my pickup truck at school, I had a 112 gauge shotgun, 130-30 lever action, and 130-06 bolt action. Sitting in the window
usual
of my truck.
fare, absolutely right.
Well, you know
and
what?
That was a 9mm in a glove box. Nobody ever even fucking touched
but
it.
see, you got it's like Joe. You were what, in Louisiana, which is country. Jay, you were in country
Maryland.
too, so that was
Maryland,
normal for you guys. In Pittsburgh, you couldn't do that. Now down by where Jay lives, now I'm sure, because they give deer season off, that Monday after Thanksgiving, so they can go deer hunting. But I'm sure down around that area, Waynesburg, down there, they probably allow the kids to carry shotguns in their cars. I'm not sure, but I know where I live, you just do not do that.
To be honest, the state is open carry. So if you're 18 and you don't have any felonies against you and you're 18, you can purchase a long rifle or shotgun, long gun.
I understand that, legally. But what about the ones that aren't 18 years old, dude?
Well, they're not supposed to have a gun. They're supposed to go to jail.
You got to get in trouble. But I don't really see a lot of shotguns in cars or trucks these days, like hanging in the back window, as it were. Which is kind of a shame.
Most trucks now still have them, but what they do is their back seat folds forward and they put a rack behind the seat.
Yeah.
That holds 3 guns and they close the rack.
The guy that taught me how to shoot sporting clays, he was he shot with the United States Virgin Islands skeet team, and that team won gold in 1984. And he taught me how to shoot, but he had a really neat rig in his. I don't remember what it was. It's a Suburban. It was a really big SUV, but like suburban size. And on the you open the back doors, they were the two that folded open, not going up, but like barn doors. They would fold out. Underneath on the floor there, he had taken out the seat, the back, the I think it was the 4th row of seats in it. Took those out and he put in this box that was like 2 long drawers, like vault, like the kind of vault drawers you might see in a safe deposit box. And they were keyed shut, so they could be very good locks. But he would pull these drawers out, and they had his shotguns in it, and his ammunition and other accessories for being a sporting clays or professional clay shooter. That was the coolest thing ever. And that's what I would do if I had the money. I would get pick up or something and put those kind of drawers in the back that I can keep my shotguns and long guns with me wherever I go.
Roseanne, yes, I've heard about the 16 kids in Ohio that were locked in a 12-by-12 room. Yes.
Yeah, what happened there, Sean? Why don't you tell us about it?
There was a dad, a mom, and a young couple, and the young couple had 16 kids, Jay.
Wow. 16
kids in a 12-by-12.
In my days as a spy, I probably
And that, oh my God. Just like that one family that got busted where they chained their children to the bedpost. Do you remember that story?
That was from like the 50s or 60s, wasn't it?
No. It was recent. Recent.
I don't know that one either.
Look how cute you are. So Ann, this is on a completely different note because I've been wanting to do some ghost hunting up in DC and around there and stuff. But I was talking with my oldest daughter the other day about maybe going to do a little gold hunting, diamond hunting in Arkansas.
There you go, crater of diamonds.
It's
that would be fun.
So I was telling her, I said, I might talk. I was thinking because I was thinking about y'all, and I was thinking about somebody else that lives in West Virginia. I said, well, man, everybody's got to get, would have to get at least 3 days off. Because for me, Arkansas is an 8-hour drive to anywhere decent. Hot Springs is 8 hours for sure.
Yeah, it's probably like a 30 or 40-hour drive for me, maybe even longer.
No,
But
30, 40 hours?
No, it can't be that far.
No,
I mean,
Jay? No.
Yeah, it is.
18
Google, how many
hours,
hours
huh?
to drive to Arkansas?
It's going to be like 16, 18 hours. 20 hours.
Arkansas from Waynesboro takes about 14 hours
Oh,
and 55
14,
minutes
okay.
via I-81 south.
Yeah, because I
Google stop.
if I go
14
through if I go through Virginia and out West Virginia, it only takes me 16 hours to get to DC.
I go when I go to North Carolina to Pan for Gold, it takes me 7.5 hours. And you know what the longest freaking state in the world is? It's freaking West Virginia. That is the longest state to
feels
drive
like
through.
it is.
Because you have to go down that spike. That's why.
I'm telling you, it's like never ending.
Tell you what, baby.
I was gonna
Drive
say,
across
about
Wyoming, and you'll never bitch about Virginia again. Drive across
Yeah.
Texas, you'll never bitch about Wyoming again.
Trust me. Yeah,
Texas.
I've
On
done
a
it.
good day, is 12 to 14 hours. On a traffic day, oh no.
There's no such thing as a good day driving across
Yeah,
Texas. It takes 19 hours.
Oh man, it's fucking ridiculous.
19 hours across one leg. They go across one
So
state. 19 hours.
I've learned some secrets to get those times down. One, you got to hit Houston at a particular time, and you'll blow right through it. Don't even fuck with Interstate 20. If you're going through Dallas, oh no. It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. It's still going to take an hour to get through Dallas.
On our way across, we actually went across both. But we hit both at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. We hit at Dallas, actually at like, I think right at 4 o'clock in the morning, almost 5 o'clock, 4:30 something in the morning.
And that's
So there was
only
anyone on the road. But it still took 19 hours from Las Cruces, New Mexico to the first exit in Louisiana, and I did it. It was not fun.
Yeah, but it's a hell of a drive. I mean,
I couldn't drive that long. I'd pull over in 5 hours.
My roommate slept the whole damn time, and the only time he woke up was when we got pulled over by the border guard, and they didn't see the big water bong sitting in the middle between us and let us go. Otherwise, we'd have been arrested.
If I'm in a hurry, I'll usually bring somebody with me that drives pretty good, and we'll split it up. So, like when we went to Utah the first time, it only took us 3 days, and me and Joe were driving. So I drove 12, he drove 12, and we stopped and did rest 2 days. We actually did sleep. That's where we met the vampire guy. So this guy's got. We pull up to the hotel, right, and there's this truck with like a lift thing on the back, right? And I know what it's for, but when I look at it, it's got these 2 giant stakes coming out the back of it, about this big around and about yay long, right? I'm like, oh, Jesus, you fucking vampire killer, dude. A major vampire killer. You know, what they're for is picking up hay bales is what they're actually for. They jam them in their hay bales and lift them up, bring them, drop them off. But it looks badass when you ride up on one. It's crazy looking. Texas is wild, dude. I have almost gotten killed in Texas more times than I can count. I got arrested twice for not even doing anything wrong. Well, actually, I didn't get arrested. I just almost got arrested. Then they fined the shit out of me. And then
If they handcuff you, it's called being detained.
Not
If
in
they
Texas.
put you in the car, that's called being arrested.
Not in Texas.
So they stopped a friend of mine. We were in Wichita, Texas. So the first thing you notice when you're driving to Wichita, Texas is every billboard has on it, if you get caught with marijuana, call us. So it tells you right off the bat that the state troopers are looking for marijuana. They know it's coming through there because it's fucking right there next to Colorado. Of course it is.
Right.
So we're driving along, and Joe's sleeping, and I look up and I see blue lights. We just passed a trooper up on the side of the road. I'm like, no way, we weren't speeding. And he pulls us over. He says, you were doing 76 and a 75. I said, you pulled me over for a mile over speed limit, dude? Well, we like to write warning tickets for that kind of stuff. And I looked at him
they
like,
they like to have a reason to pull you over. So
then he goes,
then they can search you.
Then he goes, he walked us back and forth, and Joe was freaking out because Joe just woke up. As soon as he woke up, he had to take a shit. He's all antsy, squirming. He's really making a cop nervous. So he brings another cop, shows up. Like, shit. And he goes, well, I smell marijuana. I want to search your car. I said, you ain't smelling marijuana. Anybody smoke no marijuana in the fucking car all day? I didn't say we never smoked. We just haven't smoked in the car that day. And he goes, and he just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, he said, well, I can go get a warrant. And I almost told him, just why don't you fucking go ahead? I said, you know what? Go ahead. I said, go ahead and look. Well, they would have gave it to him. This much time. It would have just took longer, is all it would have done. And he goes, did y'all stop and buy any? I said, yeah, I bought this, this, and this. And it says right there in that white bag. Needless to say, I bought something, but he never found any of that shit. He goes, so he takes it out, throws it on the ground. It's about $500 worth of pipe. He just pushes it into the ground. And then he takes Joe's edibles and that stuff and squeezes them into the ant pile. It's like,
Oh my.
I said, there would be some fucked up ants. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, it was the money sucked because, you know, I'm not, back then I had a good bit of money, so it wasn't as bad. But still, it still sucked to lose, you know, $500. And I was just glad he didn't find out in pockets. I still had a day and a half to get him dropping to do. And to be honest, smoke pot anymore. It's bad. Only dumb people smoke pot. No, really, nobody. Jay don't smoke it. He don't smoke that nasty stuff. Yeah, he looks cheechy-eyed right now. You just seeing things. Yeah, you must be looking at him through squinted eyes. So you're the one smoking them. I understand how this is going.
Yeah. Yeah, look at him. He's getting probed. So
anyway, so the cop goes, well, we threw everything away, so there's no reason to take you to jail. But we got to write you a fine. So it was $176 fine. So man, like, wait a minute now. He gives me one, he gives Jay one. No, he gives Jay a fine because for possession, I guess. Because it's not legal in Texas. It's not criminal. It's not criminal possession, but it's still possession. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get home. I'm home about 2 days. And see, and this got me out of a ticket in Katrina. I'll tell you about that too. But I got this little thing on my phone that tells you how fast you're going by GPS. Not by radar, but by GPS. GPS is accurate to 1 mile an hour. So I pull it up, and you see me on file. I look at what time the ticket is, and I go 10 minutes back. And I'm doing like 73, 72, 73. You know, and then you see me start to slow down. At no point between that time I started it and the time I slowed down did I ever go over 73 miles an hour. It's clear. You can see it, no problem. It shows it at the data. It tells you how fast you're going, and it tells you each minute because it's clocking you by the minute. So you can't even argue with it, you know. So I look at it, and then you see the car start slowing down. That's when we pulled over into the rest area. So there we go. We got 10 minutes, 15 minutes laid out. Never broke the speed, so he stopped me illegally. So I call the local DA up there. He goes, sound like one of the Charlie Brown movies. Like, dude, I said, I got you, cop. I said, so I don't want to make this a big deal because if I got to come up there, I said, I'm just going to call every fucking person I can find and press it. By the way, I do media for a living. And I'm just going to go off of this. I said, so this is what I want. I want the fine back, and I want the money that I lost back. And I said, he said, well, you still had it. I said, doesn't matter, I had it. I said, you fucking wouldn't have known if you wouldn't have pulled me over illegally, so I want the money back. So anyway, I think I told him I wanted $675. And he goes, he says, so he goes, I'll have to clear that. And he said, you need to send me a copy. I said, here. Boop, sent it to his fucking cell phone while I was talking to him. I said, now, take a look. And you just hear nothing for like 3 minutes. And he's like, fuck. He said, yeah, I'm going to talk to the guy. You'll probably see the check within 70 days. He said, he said, do you have cash up? I said, yeah. He said, call me on Friday and I'll get it to you that day. So I called Joe and told him, go get your money back. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, Joe's all happened. Get Joe pull motherfucker out at $176.
Did you get the $675 or just your fine back?
They gave it all of it back. All, because they didn't want me to turn it into, because the cop would have lost the job. He was a state trooper. And from what I could see, he had hash marks and shit. So he was a veteran state trooper. It would have looked really bad on him and his partner, because he had a partner come up too. That he stopped us illegally, which means he searched and seized illegally. So they didn't fight with it. But it's funny because
it just pulls down to habeas corpus. They violated your basic civilian rights.
Yeah, he had no, because I know it wasn't speed. Anytime, like if it's alcohol in my car or if there's pot or something, I'm not going to speed. I'll usually set the cruise control at 2 or 3 miles below the speed limit so I don't get my ass pulled over.
I use cruise
Oh,
control
Jeffrey,
all
I
the
didn't.
time,
I didn't
all
say
the
I
time.
didn't. Yeah, Jeffrey, I didn't say I didn't speed. I just don't speed when I got shit in my car. Oh no, I'm when I commute back and forth in New Orleans, 85, going and coming all day.
Speed demon over here. Speed demon.
Yes, I don't.
You know, but you're about the
I
cruise control. I
drive
use
people.
my cruise control all the time, all
I
all
do. I
day,
love
every
cruise
day, whenever
control.
I drive. Period. It keeps you.
And
at
the
speed
Camry's
limit,
cruise
you know?
controls are good cruise controls. They behave themselves and they don't go excessively crazy when you go up a hill. They kick in like you're supposed to. But man, I had a Chevy. That bitch would kick in.
It's radar.
nail
It's
you
radar
back in the seat.
controlled. So it's radar controlled. So if the car in front of you slows down, the Camry slows down. If the car in front of you stops, the Camry will stop. It'll also have this big red thing that says stop, and it scares the shit out of you. It'll make you stamp on the brakes. But it's basically and I have the other things. I forget what they call them. It's lane assist, lane LDA, lane drift assist, and something else.
Yeah, if you go into the other
wheel,
lane, it goes.
you
Yeah.
can see the steering wheel. It'll stay between the French fries and the cocaine, and it won't take a 90-degree turn, but it'll follow a curve. So it's
Yeah, they're pretty
almost
good about that.
it's almost self-drive. Almost.
Yeah,
It's not quite.
my mom's Cadillac had what they called follow in it. So you would just set it to the vehicle in front of you, and it would maintain that distance. But wherever that vehicle went, that car would follow it. If it got off, it got off. It followed it off. It was a cool feature, and it's probably a feature that saved my life because when my mom was dying and Linda was up there with a broken hip, I was staying in Atlanta, but I had to come back because of business. I mean, I own a company here, and I love my sons and all, but I needed to know what the fuck was going on with my money. So I'm coming back and forth, and I'm sleeping like 2 hours at max. So I put it on lane assist, got in the car at Atlanta, got on Interstate 65, headed down towards Mobile. Woke up in Mobile, fresh, drove. Thank God, fucking thing worked. Because if not, I'd have been long dead. Because I like to get in behind the super rigs and follow them. Because I know they're going to maintain X amount of speed and X amount of safety because they're super rigs.
Well, especially if you know
them.
if you know some of the companies like JB Hunt, all of their drivers are their transmissions are taxed at I think a maximum of 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, but
might be 65, but I think it's 70.
When you're in Alabama and Georgia, you don't have to worry about it because the troopers are so fucking strict. Mississippi troopers are pretty strict too about rigs.
Dude, I lived in Georgia for 13 years. I know they're pretty bad.
You know what's funny about it though? This is what's funny about rigs in most of the southern states. The cops, especially troopers, are very hard on truckers, but they also have working relationships with a lot of truckers who keep an eye out on the road for drunk drivers and things like that. There's a lot of people, a lot of drivers, truck drivers see that they report it. Well, yeah,
yes,
it saves a lot of lives.
Well, when we were kids, driving up and down the East Coast, Ohio, mostly 95, Florida, Ohio. Sometimes we went up into Connecticut, but whenever we went up and down, my dad had all the dads in the neighborhood in the 70s. The big craze was CB radio, Citizens Band.
But
professional
I had
radio.
one. He had CB.
Yeah, but you had
big boy.
You had to get a license and get a call letters to be actually able to broadcast on it legally. So my dad he kept up with he had a license, and his call letters were KADW 0009. No 0999 zip trip 9, 3 zeros and a 9. That's what it was. Zip trip 9. But he used the trucking system as like kind of like Google. It's like, hey, trucker, we're at exit 19, so and so, and blah blah blah, and such. What's good to eat? Are there cops? What's the weather like? What's the roads like? And the truckers going both north and south would holler back like, no cops. So the roads are good. Weather's this, weather's that. So you knew it was coming up. Yeah.
Well, when we first got a CB, my mom bought a Lincoln Continental Mark V. It came with the CB.
Oh man, that's a land yacht.
Yeah, and it came and it had a big old 460 PI in it too. It was a beast of a car.
Like
it was funny too.
Lanes wide.
Yeah, so it was going to come with a 401 in it, and for some reason the guy said, well, the one that she liked, the color one she liked with the brown, the light brown and dark brown, had a 460 in it, and that car was, dude, it only got 7 miles to the gallon. It was a fucking beast. And when you
Hey.
push the
I'll bet.
accelerator to the ground, my favorite thing was I would flip the air breather over on the cover so it would get air.
slow down.
And that bitch would be like, whoop, 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 and there you'd be in it like, yeah, the car, man, I got it. You know, because
Hey,
I had a
Jay.
suspension like it's got today.
Joe, we going on a break? We need a
What's-
baby Trump
yeah.
news thing going on, buddy.
Break. We
Yeah,
don't need a break.
I played the chirp at the 8:00 hour, but nobody paid attention to me.
Me with the stink. Breaks stink. They smell funny.
What's that?
Breaks, they smell funny.
Diapers. Oh, what? Yeah, break. Yeah.
Honey,
Break smell funny.
There, Jay.
it's no, man. Living on the coast is great as long as there's no fucking hurricanes. Yeah. The only time it sucks here is when there's a
We-
hurricane.
we
Don't
had
get me
a,
wrong, we got 2 months of hot weather. But
Where I was today, they had a tornado warning. So I drove through and out of a tornado warning. It had just started raining. I dropped Diane's brother off at a hotel down there in West Virginia, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come check out the breakfast nook?" I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm not staying for breakfast. Fuck no. And I said, "No, dude, it's raining. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because I don't want to stick around under these torrential rainstorm warnings." And then I get in the car and I hear, it's like, bing, like that federal screechy warning thing. It's like, warning, there's a tornado warning in this area. And it's like circles Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and lower Pennsylvania. So I jetted. He wanted me to hang around. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not hanging around in a tornado warning. I'm out of here.
Jesse, that's California. Nobody wants to live in California anymore. People are leaving there and going everywhere else. They even go on places like Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, there's a great clip. So Bill Maher wanted to shame. We may even have this clip, but Bill Maher wanted to shame California. So he said, "Well, I'm confused."
I don't think he has to. They're doing a pretty good job of their
No, but so he goes, "I don't understand why California's elementary proficiency in reading is so bad, and how far ranked it was, like 38th and 40th." He goes, "Mississippi is ranked 8th in the country." He said, "This is Mississippi." He said, "And they're kicking our ass, and not just that." He said, "They don't even have a fucking state tax." He said, "You would think poor states would have a state tax."
But they just recently did turn that tax off too, though, I must add.
Yes, that was just in the last year. And actually, technically, it's not fully off. It won't fully be off for another 3 years. It's being broke out. It's fading out.
They're also offsetting that with either medical or recreational marijuana sales tax.
They did that, but the tax isn't going to go up. The only place the tax went up, it went up 1 cent on gasoline. It actually went down on a couple other things. And they're really discussing completely removing the grocery tax completely.
I don't pay tax on groceries. I pay tax on like prepared food. Like if I go to the grocery store and I buy a head of lettuce and it's $1, and I buy a chicken and it's $2, I pay tax on the cooked chicken, but not the lettuce.
They usually do just a flat tax. It's usually 3% or 5% or 7%. It's a sales tax, is what it is.
No tax on raw food, but cooked food, prepared food, you pay state sales tax, which is only 6%.
And there's no tax on tea.
No, this was a regal state. In fact, this is where that law was written about no taxation without representation, which is why we have the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah,
No
that's right.
tax
They don't
on
want
tea.
you to have the Boston Tea Party.
Well, when I was in Boston and I was 10, it was a while ago. So there was this thing that they had called the Boston Harbor that allegedly, I don't know if this lady was just full of shit or what, but I was only 10, so I didn't call her out on it. But she said, it still has tea from the Boston Tea Party, from when they dumped all the tea from all the boats, the crates and crates and crates of tea. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm 10 years old, I'm thinking to myself, bullshit, lady, I'll bet you $5 if I dump in there, it tastes like seawater. And
it probably does taste like seawater, but that doesn't mean there might not be some crates of tea covered up at the bottom somewhere.
Yeah.
The way she says is implicative that it tastes like a glass.
Oh
of
yeah,
iced tea.
well, I'm going up there and getting me some.
It tastes exactly like it is seawater
Tell
and fish.
Tell
That's what you're
they don't call it. Tell her they don't call it a Boston tea. They call it a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, that's just a completely different animal. That's a completely different animal that we're talking about.
Boston's okay, Jimmy. I haven't been there in a while. I'd been there when I was younger. Through there.
It's a neat town. I grew up in D.C., Baltimore, between the two cities, within 15, 20 minutes of D.C., but 45 minutes an hour
That
of
explains a
Baltimore.
lot.
Yeah, it does. Well, we also lived under power lines. Does that help? But
Nah,
the
that
other
don't.
thing is,
That
both
just might have
cities,
supercharged you.
both cities, Boston and Baltimore, and Savannah, Georgia, too, for that matter, are all very similarly laid out because they were early port cities. So the construction, the layout, and the overall way that the houses and the buildings, like the commercial buildings and the homes look, are very similar between Savannah and other port cities all across the East Coast, which I think is really cool. But I don't remember much about the city. We were only there, I don't know, like a day or so. But I remember it was a very densely packed. Like everybody was like
I remember going on a buggy ride.
yeah, jam packed into a small square
And
footage
then,
area.
This girl I was with was like, "Oh, it's going to snow tomorrow. We can go on a sled ride." I'm like, "Really? Never been on a sled ride."
Yeah.
I was like, I think 17, 18 at the time. It was nice. It was fun. Yeah, and I like snow. As long as I don't have to live in snow, I like snow. And I can deal with it a couple
No,
times.
it's fun if you can ski on it, but
if I got to live in
don't
it every
ski.
day, y'all keep that shit.
Skiing
Yeah,
sucks,
keep it.
man. I bust my
I'm
ass.
I'm a good skier, guys. I know how to ski. I like to ski.
I don't,
dad-
and I
that's,
never
that's
will.
like, Ken, it's only 5 hours. You can drive from Memphis to, not Memphis. Memphis. No, what's the other one?
I don't
Yeah,
have to
it's
go
Memphis,
that far to go
right?
skiing. There's-
Anyway, you
There's
can
a-
drive from Memphis to the beach in 5 hours. Yeah, that's all it takes. Matter of fact,
well,
you can drive.
I can go to.
a lot of
I have a
places
ski
in 5
hill
hours.
right behind my work. It's like 10 minutes behind my work. It's a
But she wasn't talking about
legitimate
snow
ski hill.
skiing. She's talking about water skiing. Chris,
Yeah,
I
I'm talking
never, when people talk
They're
to me
both
about
water
Boston,
skiing, actually.
so
about it.
I know it is. One's frozen water. That's all. No, Jesse, I never think of Boston as a port city, even though it is. It never, when I'm talking to people or people talking to me, we ever talking about the port part of Boston.
I'll bet you certain areas of the
Historical
city still have
parts.
cobblestone sidewalks and/or streets, and that's where
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to be. That's where those are ballast stones from ships coming to and from port.
No, you just don't really think of it because it's not a port that really does anything. It's not like New
Drink beer.
Orleans or New York.
Drink
or
beer.
Los
That's all they
Angeles.
do. Drink beer.
It's
That's
more
all they
like
do.
it's more
Drink
like
beer.
a fishing port. Yeah.
They drink beer.
They drink
No,
beer. They pack their
I'm not
cabin,
hating on it.
and
No,
they have
Chris,
a nice pizza pie.
And I imagine back in the day when Boston was a hub. Today it's not. There's bigger places and places with much better. New Orleans gets so much stuff because we have Mississippi River, and we have rail systems going in all directions of our country. So when you unload here, your shit's going wherever you want it to go. You don't have to go anywhere else. The stuff that goes to Newark is stuff that's coming from the northern part of Europe or Russia, or place China, end up going there and being put either on trucks or rail. Well, no, a lot. So just to put this in perspective, I'll help some people. If you ever really want to see a train, get your lazy ass up, get on Interstate 20 and drive out west of California. So when you're getting in Nevada, you'll start seeing trains that you see the end of the train. By the time you get to the other side of the train, you're fucking in California. I mean, these trains are literally some 30, 40 miles long. It's ridiculous how big these trains are. And they're not just like little single cars, they're double and triple deckers and stuff. It's crazy.
And they're
to
moving
watch.
what, 90 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour? Something
No,
like that
no,
effect?
they're probably moving 50 or 60, but the other
Yeah.
trains are moving 90. And you do see those come through too. You'll see a passenger line come blowing by at about 100 miles an hour, just cruising on by. I haven't been on a train in a long time, like, oh God, 50 years. No, when we were kids, there's a couple of places we went on a train, but other than that,
Yeah,
I
Hey,
trains
remember-
Joey, speaking of
Pretty
trains,
frequent.
did that engine come down around your area? The steam locomotive?
on where?
Down around
Here in
you?
Waynesboro?
Yeah.
We didn't know what steam locomotive. We didn't get anything like that.
There was this steam train. The only one left from back in the 50s and 40s. It's a steam train, and it was huge, dude.
Yeah, we got one parked in one of the parks down here, Steve.
I didn't see it. I mean, there's
Huge.
tracks all over the place down here, but if it came through, I wasn't aware of it.
It's
Oh man, it's
well, the
huge,
rail's
man.
interesting because our country is connected by rail all over, and then there's a lot of hidden rail systems that's are not really being used anymore. Matter of fact, one hotel built, so they took a bunch of cars and turned them into hotel rooms and parked them out on these rails way out in the middle of nowhere. And they send you out there in one of those rail cars that goes alongside. You just get out and get in your room. It's a little electric rail car, and it hooks up to a big. It's crazy, and they got it fingered out all over the place. And a lot of it looks like bear country. I mean, I don't know if bear can get into a steel
Holy
box
cow!
car, but still.
You just Google it.
Yeah, it's a Pittsburgh. ABC News had a picture on Facebook. Wow, that's huge.
The fucker, it's the only one running.
Yeah, well, they used to have to pull big loads back in the day. A lot of timber being pulled, a lot of rock being pulled.
Yeah, and it's fast too.
Usually passenger trains had like groceries and stuff.
I mean, seriously, it was like every little town that it stopped in, you'd have 1,000, 2,000 people watching it come into the town. It would stick around for about a half hour and then go. Yeah, they restored this one. There's like a lot more that are like in some kind of garage or wherever they're at. But this one's the only one running right now.
They it's weird because different states got different stuff. Because there's a line somewhere out west. It's a steam engine with the coal. It's actually got a wood coal box. You have to feed it coal while you're driving it, and it pulls tourists up to some tourist destination in the mountains. It's badass, but I think it's a K scale or something. It's big, but it's not like super big like you would see. So most people don't even realize this, but there's different size rails, which have different size trains on them. The United States is actually two different size rails. The most common ones, the ones we see going through the cities, there's actually a smaller version. But a lot of the European countries and even a lot of South American countries, the rail are actually narrower than they were.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of a strange thing. It's
Well, you know, Pittsburgh built America with all the steel mills. You know that?
Well, they built up north because down south there wasn't no fucking steel. All there was wood. Steel is for the basic, except for big buildings. Everything down here is still wood. It's because we got oak, man. Fuck steel. Steel rust. We live in a fucking Gulf, man. We don't need steel. We need something that don't rust. Titanium.
I found the train. It's called the Big Boy number 4014. It just left yesterday. It left South Holland, Illinois. It is now in Bloomington, Illinois, and it's probably left there already because its events only go until 1 o'clock. So on Sunday, it will be in St. Louis, Missouri. If anybody's in that area and wants to go see it, it will be on display from 9 to 3 p.m. And looks like it's free. Just free access. Just get on and walk on and off, I guess. Cool.
It is huge, man.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's going all over the place. It's been to Lebanon, PA, Enola, PA, Lewiston, Altoona. I don't think it came anywhere near me. But cool. Last leg of the trip is in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Wow.
Did you see that video that Lorley posted about them dudes up in Canada that were on the train surrounded by fire?
No, I did not see that.
Oh, damn, Jay, slow down on your typing, man.
I'm not typing.
Somebody's tapping it.
Not me.
Not me.
Something's doing like that.
not going. That's probably the NSA then, who's probably listening in on my cell phone line.
New photo. Select here to view edit photo. What photo? What photo? I wonder what that is.
Huh? Say that
that's
again?
yeah,
Photo,
wow.
photo, photo?
That sounds like a fan or something. That's weird.
I don't
Man,
have
my
any fans
fan-
on either. Both
I
of my
mean,
fans
either.
are off.
Okay, now I quit. Okay, that's.
I didn't.
I
I
don't hear it no more now.
The ghost. It must
Could
be a
be,
ghost.
or the ETs are, sending us Morse code.
What do you hear that?
Where?
What do you hear that noise?
Okay, this.
Man, I have never seen Jay smile as much as he smiled today, Joe.
That's good.
Those were evil grin smiles, Sean. Those weren't happy smiles.
I'm just saying, I haven't seen you smile that good in a long time. Must be the good probing you're getting there, buddy.
No, I dropped Diane's brother an hour and some odd minutes that way, south and west of here. So if I don't go and pick him back up, he won't bother me again.
Sit down there. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let's try this. No, Jack, we'll probably take a break at the top of the next hour. We'll just have to find something. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the baby drum stuff today. So let's.
Yeah, they don't come out with a lot of stuff very rapidly because I think it takes a long time for them to build that stuff.
I don't know. It depends on what kind of AI they got, I guess.
Well, whatever they're doing, the voices at least, the AI is pretty good too, but the voices are spot on, especially Trump.
They do the voices quite well.
It's either they've got a really good voice guy or they're using some kind of AI, voice copycat thing.
Whatever it is, it's interesting.
It's really good, yeah. I want to know how they're doing it.
I'm pretty well. It's definitely some type of AI. I don't know what kind it is. You have to find out who. Because there's a couple new like Hollywood style AIs that you can get or buy. Okay, let's see. Fuck did it go? I just had it open a minute ago. Did I lose it that fast? Damn, what the hell did I do with it? That's what happens when you're not paying attention. You just lose stuff.
Fat Finger Tuesday.
Okay, what the hell? Oh, let's try this again.
What was that?
That was my
weird.
cricket. That was my cricket.
Oh, lightning. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you going to throw up a photo or something?
Who, me?
No, Joe.
No, I'm actually looking for something here on the screen, and then I hit the button and knocked it off. I was So let's see. As I said, so we've seen this one before. This one is what I wasn't looking for. Where's it on there? There it is. Jesse, no, one guy was from the U.S., the other guy was from the U.K. Wow, that sounds like underwater ruins to me. That looks like a Team commercial. Now, see, they're saying, and now look, see, now we featured this article a while back from a different time period when it was written, and they had it listed between 12 and 15,000 years. This is a recent article, August 10th of 2025, and they've got it at 6,000 years.
What?
Hey, Mitch.
Okay, hang on. Let's get that up there. Bang. All right, it's up there. Oh yes, this is the one that looks like Copan.
Yeah.
Or Tikal.
Just way older.
Yeah. and underwater. How many feet is it under 2,000? Is this the one that's under 2,000 feet or 800 feet?
I don't know. We have to see. It's lately I'm noticing these been fluctuating backwards a lot, back and forth.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, I think like you. I think they got just some of they described Site B with Site A's info. You know.
So it says 6,000 years old, making it 1,500 years older than the pyramids. It's older than Samaria. They've already said it was much older than 6,000 years old. So I don't know why it's in 650 meters, 2,100 feet.
2,100 feet.
201,333.
If a city was buried under the Earth's ocean 2,100 feet, how many years would that mean that the water took to rise over it?
It's impossible to provide a specific number of years for a 2,100-foot sea level rise because scientific models don't project such an extreme change occurring on a human timescale. Current projections for the year 2100 estimate a rise of about 2 to 8 feet, and even in the most extreme, long-term scenarios looking centuries ahead, the rates of rise are measured in inches or feet per century, not hundreds of feet within a short period.
Okay, Google, stop. Yeah. So it's like we talked about the other night about the flood story. You know, it wasn't just the planet's water table shifting. It was the planet's water table doubling, causing instant flooding, like permanent flooding for these cities. 2,100 feet. That's a lot to boom.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That wouldn't happen over even like a million years.
So Jimmy, you know it's
inches or feet per century. That would never happen over a million years. 2,000 feet.
So no, Jess, you can tell it's not volcanic. The buildings are intact, meaning the water grows gradually and covered it.
Well, they are in sonar imagery, so they also appear to me that there's significant weathering for having been underwater, of course.
Well, I don't know. Being that deep, there shouldn't be much because there's not much movement down there.
There is some weathering on them. They don't look. I mean,
well,
they're
no.
intact,
So
they look,
okay, so
they don't look crispy and new. You know what I mean?
But when you look at them, when you look at them, these corners are still defined. They're not even covered in barnacles, which is weird. They're not covered in that weird stuff you see on this. You know what's really the truth about this is, it didn't turn into a coral reef.
That's
this
true.
is after all the Gulf of Mexico.
That's a really, really significant point. Why?
Well, maybe it's too deep. Ask Google what's the deepest a coral reef can live.
Hey Google, what's the deepest a coral reef can start growing at?
Deep sea corals are known to grow at depths ranging from 150 feet all the way down to more than 10,000 feet below sea level.
Yeah, so that's not the fact. Yeah. Hey Google, stop. Yeah, that's not it.
And I was going to say anyway, when it was actually sinking, as the water was covering it over year by year, you should have seen like lines and stuff going on. You don't see any of that.
No, there's not. But they aren't shining and new. That's for sure. If any paint that was on them is gone, if they had any, and they very likely did. They very likely did have paint on them.
Yeah. Well, they could still be paint. It could be under a layer of slime or something.
Possibly, yeah.
But I don't really see that much. I don't really see that much sediment here. I mean, it's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like, for being in 2,000 years, 6,000 years old or older, there just doesn't seem to be that much sediment.
Well, we need to figure out when it was buried, so it has to be sometime between now and 6,000 and the day it started, since 6,000 years ago. So
I don't think it started at 6,000 years ago. Because the water would already been this deep there.
Yeah. So the city's probably there from 12,000, 14,000 BCE. Very likely, not. I would say probably not Mu, probably Atlantean, but it looks the temples look like Mu, South American type temples. They might be Lemurian. You never know, but it had to have been buried during the Great Flood event, which is when the water table increased by double.
Oh, Jamie, the problem with the flood event is we don't know exactly when it was.
14,000, 15,000, 16,000. We don't, yeah, the floods anywhere in that time frame.
So this is what's weird about this. Because of all these new cities we've recently found that are 15, 16, anywhere from 13 to 16, 20,000 years old. Okay. That doesn't actually mean that's when the city was built. That could have been when the city went under 15,000 years ago. It's we don't know because none of us were alive at the time.
Yeah.
All we know is they had these great cities that were built. This city here was supposed to hold a large population, just like these other ones we're finding. We're supposed to hold a large
50, 60,000 people or something, right?
The three main ones were 250,000 more.
Oh, wow.
It's well, most of the Incan and Mayan and Aztec cities are pretty big. They got smaller ones, but they got some big ones. Like this one right here with three temples. I mean, this had to be at least 100,000 people. That's just too much construction for a small group.
Well, and we don't know. I mean, this is all that we see right now. We don't know what sort of, if there's any outlying city parts or buildings or suburbs, you know.
One of the original articles I read said it was like 5 square miles of stuff. That was back when my boy from the submarine was still working there.
Yeah, and they're still, even then, through today, they're still finding stuff. They're not done. They have a lot to go through.
Well, I think they got the site closed right now. It's there was some hubbub that went on with the British, Canadian, and Cubans. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but something went down. Because man, they were like, it was everywhere. And that's how I met your boy with the Yellow Submarine. He was working and he was a regular listener on Wake Up USA. It's just how long this was. And we were talking, and he used to tell me about the dives, and they started sending us pictures, and then they started sending sat pictures, and we had all kind of stuff. And then, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 years in, you couldn't even find a picture on the internet. And then somebody finally put the sat picture back up. But it just all disappeared. It went the way of the dodo bird, and then in recent times, in the last 4 or 5 years, it's made a slight comeback. But there's still a lot missing. And they keep confusing the different cities up the coast of Cuba, putting them in different places and different depths. Well, no, Gene, I think what's going on is they're just using the same pictures for each city. So.
Yeah, they're not verifying which picture goes with which site. And they're
so when you look at it from this way,
and they don't care what pictures they have up.
No, Jesse, these are walls. There were probably roofs on these buildings at the time right here. This looks like it's got a chimney in it.
Yeah. Might even have been a sphinx. That structure behind it might have been a sphinx, so the head is gone.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Speaking of the dog Sphinx Anubis, mine is out back barking at the moon right now.
Oh, good dog, good dog. So think about this, Jess. These are the only pictures of this city. That's it. There was no other pictures. You know, that's not true. They were down there with a damn submarine taking pictures all over the place. So why is this all we get?
Maybe they found something so profound they're not ready to release it yet. Maybe the other parts are covered in silt. They got to uncover them first. Who knows? Could be any reasons.
Okay, let me see. Let's see. Okay, depth is another complicating factor. The site lies 650 meters, and this is what we were just talking about. For the man-made structure to sink to such a depth explains that it would need to be at least 50,000 years old. At least 50,000 years old.
Wow.
That puts it way older than 6,000 years. And
that
the
makes
initial
it the oldest site. That makes it the oldest site ever.
Yeah. And the initial finds in this site said 15,000 years. So now they're pushing it back even further, which makes sense because when the Ice Age started and started pushing everything inward, it created, I'm telling you, it created this big circle in the middle of the planet or the middle of the oceans where the equator went through, and it was warm on both sides. But the ice came almost to the bottom of Louisiana, and don't forget it was coming up from the other way too. It wasn't just people always just say, "Oh, it was just coming down from no," but it was coming up from the Antarctic too. The whole planet was frozen, but there was a
Basically, only
section
the
in the middle.
equator wasn't covered. Yeah.
So what it looks like is around the world, in places like India, anywhere there was an ocean place, the water was much lower, and they were building cities. Which also means the time it took to cross, like the Pacific, was a lot shorter because there was less
Yep.
water.
Wasn't as wide across.
So think of it this way, Ray. The Gulf is anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 feet deep. Okay. Think of it like this: if this building was on the ground, okay, on the ground, 20. So that means it was 2,100 feet of water would disappear. So straight going across the Gulf would be closed. It wouldn't be a waterway that flowed into the Atlantic. It would be blocked off because the islands that flow all the way down to South America would rise higher than the water in the basin of the Gulf by 2,000 feet. It would have become a big, I don't know, what do you call them? A saltwater lake, a big one. Wouldn't be a Gulf anymore because you wouldn't have an outlet. Yeah, we'd have to blow a hole through it and made an outlet.
Well, and depending on the size, it may even be labeled as an inland sea.
Yeah, it could be that. No, it would have still been big. It just would have been closed off right at. So where Cuba and Florida is, that would all be raised. That wouldn't be underwater. Yeah. All the change it would be when you went to Puerto Rico, that would all be raised. It wouldn't be underwater because it's not that deep there. It's only a couple hundred feet. So all that would be above the ground. Anything that wasn't deep enough would be above the ground. So yeah, in order for the Gulf, so if we lost 2,000 feet of water, like I said, the Gulf would drop by 2,000 feet. So the water in front of Cuba is not 2,000 feet deep. Just on that one spot. As you cross over into the Mediterranean, it's not the Mediterranean, into the Caribbean, it's not that deep. It's shallower than that. And remember, that's where Bimini Road and all this, coming out of this same area where the city's at. And now we've got a sunken city off the coast of Louisiana. It's looking like there was a pretty buff civilization in South America and North America. And that was connected to places like India and other parts of the world. Well, I mean, like I said, the planet was frozen, so they were just living on the edge of the world. And they would just sail around the edge.
They were living within the equatorial band. That was the only place that wasn't frozen.
Yeah, which just means their ship, everything was much smaller back then. The trip times, I mean. Yeah, they were just building cities all over. It was just the way it was. It was a different world. Yeah. But now we know that, like this extra water had to come from somewhere else. It's looking more and more like it could have been a giant ice asteroid. Maybe that's what killed the dinosaurs. Maybe it wasn't a rock. Maybe it was a giant ice one and it raised the water that much. But that would be too far ahead. So this would have been something that happened after these cities were built. So the city's 50,000 years old. The event would have had to happen after that point. Jay and I have talked about this. Sean has heard us talk about it. It's the only thing that would make real sense would be as if we ran into a mass of water, not a frozen mass, like if Mars or Venus or the fifth planet lost ocean and it was still undulating through space when we collided with it. We would absorb the water into our own water. It would have did a lot of flooding around our planet and stuff. There would have been a lot of disaster. And it would have probably been like what the Bible describes. The whole planet would have been covered in water until it settled to where it was going.
Right.
Because it was a lot. It doubled the volume of water on the planet is what it seems like.
It would have taken months at least for it to trickle down into the vast caverns underneath all of the continents and into all the nooks and crannies and valleys within the continents themselves. Yeah, that's why do we have a lake?
So Jesse,
we miles up in the air.
We wouldn't even consider this, but just recently, NASA and some other scientists figured out there could be water worlds with no core, just liquid. Yeah. Yes, just big mass amount of liquid undulating around. And most of them do think the same thing. It probably would have escaped from a planet, but somehow still managed to stay alive because everything in it was still alive. I don't know. Well, if it's
Water is a great buffer against radiation, that's for sure.
yeah, if it's undulating, it would be hard to freeze it because it would be moving around, breaking the freeze every time you try to freeze something. Plus, it would probably be creating its own heat friction. Speaking of that, so the sugar that's in kiwis and strawberries and other things was found in abundance in deep space. They don't know what to even think about this.
Really? Like
Yeah.
just by itself?
Yeah, it's like the guy's
Floating around like powder?
I don't know. He said just in space. It showed up on an analysis today.
Wow.
Thinking what?
Yeah.
Sweet
Bizarre.
space. Yeah. Take a bite out of space while you're out there. The things get weirder and weirder. Oh wait, where's the picture? Just see, that's enhanced a little bit, blown up and enhanced.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
why I
a
say
lot-
there might be some erosion on because look at the modeling on that. That may be an artifact of the type of camera they're using, but whatever they were at one point exposed to the air.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Jack, I couldn't tell you what kind of rock. It could be granite. Somebody said it was granite if they found some polished pieces, but no one never understood why they didn't build the pyramids out of granite and just polish the granite and not have to put that.
The inside rooms of the pyramids are granite.
Yes, but they didn't polish the granite. They put limestone coverings on it.
Yeah.
Polished the limestone. That made no sense to me. It would have been. I think it would have been better just. I guess it could have not got the same consistent color. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
There would have been blotches of color here and there because granite doesn't always match. Depends what vein you pull it out of. And maybe they couldn't get the color they wanted either. Well, marble comes in a lot of colors, Jack. It's just not always, And they might have wanted smooth white finish with no veins in it or no dots in it. Actually, we've installed a lot of marble granite, faux granite. Put in a lot of that too. Corian is great, but Corian's great because if you set a hot pot on it and melt it, you can actually fix it.
Yes. You can sand it away, but it also works good. It's also a good cutting board. You don't have to buy an extra cutting board. You can clean the surface before and after.
And it's a pretty product. It's nice and thick and durable. It'll last forever. Yeah, it's
oh yeah.
It's
outlast the house.
Yeah, it's always got like a nice creamy finish to it, whatever color you get. But a lot of people prefer granite or marble. Marble and granite. The only real difference is the price. Marble's more expensive. That's all. And then there's faux granite, which looks just like granite, but it's not real granite. I don't know what the fuck it is actually. It's a stone of some kind. And then you've got to watch when anytime you're buying countertops. So anytime you're going to buy anything that's a stone top, you have to know what the thickness is going to be because they don't. Oh yeah, because you get 3 mil, 5 mil, 7 mil. The thicker the better. It's going to be heavier, but it's not going to break as easy. So a friend of mine bought a 5 mil, put a 5 mil granite top, and put it in, and it was installed pretty good, but there must have been a little gap that exceeded the distance. So as he leaned on it, it snapped the granite just right smack in the middle between the two braces. Yeah, it didn't move off. It didn't even come off unhooked from the counter. It just snapped. It caused a crack right through it. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh no, Lowe's installed. Yeah, Lowe's had to come out and take it out and put a new one in. I think he was fussing about maybe they should have went with a 5 mil or 7 mil or something. It's interesting stuff. All these sunken cities are just. Let me see if I can find the one from Louisiana.
Well, and the funny and amazing thing is that how many have popped up in the last, let's say, 5 years? 5, 6, 10? A lot.
There's been a lot of them popping up. What's that, Pete? No, it's just, well, okay. Jay and I have talked about this, and a couple other people in the network have talked about this. So right now, as far as South America goes, there's a lot of LiDAR being used. They're fucking scanning everything. I mean, you name it, it's getting scanned, and they're finding a lot of cities.
The whole jungle, yes.
Yeah, and they're finding all kind of stuff in the jungle. I mean, all sorts of stuff. That's cool how much stuff they've actually found.
It's mind-boggling. It really is.
So when you actually look at it, you're kind of like, wow, look at all this. And no, they haven't had most of them haven't even had a chance to go explore yet. It's deep in the jungle. But sonar has been finding stuff underwater, and apparently our government or somebody affiliated with our government has a new type of sonar that finds more stuff and in more detail.
$5 says my dad was involved with it.
So I'm pretty sure one of the oil companies found one off the coast of Louisiana, probably using whatchamacallit radar that looks for potential certain types of chemicals. No, I'm still looking for it. Trudeau. What about Trudeau? Trudeau, I wouldn't even let Trudeau suck my dick. No.
Yeah, why is he back in the news again?
He's dating Queer Perry.
Mm.
I called her Queer Perry, not because she's gay, because she's queer, meaning she's weird, strange, and stupid. So now this is this picture from another angle. Let me see if I can put it up. No, this is stop screen, bitch. Don't say it. Daddy will smack your bottom. Is this it or is this it? This is it. Okay. See, that's from a different angle.
Oh, yeah, it's up there. Oh, yeah. But so that's like a regular photograph, though.
Now, look. Yeah, this is one of the original whatchamacallit pictures. 50,000-year-old sunken city with pyramids may have been found in the Mexican waters, possibly predating Egyptian. Well, it does, and Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
So whoever these pyramid builders are the originals. At 50,000 years, again, this is a civilization that's in the middle of the fucking ice age, building monuments. Probably because where this is was tempered. It was a tempered climate, I would bet you. Even though the mainland was probably iced up, they weren't.
Well, this bit was definitely in the tropics, so when the ice age was at its full peak, this part would not have been frozen.
No.
Would the air have been cold? It may not have gotten 90 degrees because you're covered by ice, west, north and south of you. But I've always said, most of the stuff we're going to find, if we're going to find answers, they're going to be under the water. And now we're starting to find them. And then I think if you follow a line straight from Cuba along, a straight line where this is and that is, I think you'll find more going all the way into the Gulf.
Did it change pictures?
Yeah, Egypt's sunken cities. Is that dead people or a statue?
Statue.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Huh.
That looks like that used to be a port of some kind. I'm just seeing that. Oh, it is something.
What the hell is that?
There's something here.
Is it like a
Sorry.
door in an opening cavern or something?
It was hard to tell what the hell it was. I don't know where this is. I'm not sure where the
that
architect
screams
is.
AI.
Now, all this is before AI. Whatever page you're on here is like from.
Oh, well, then that's very intriguing if that's for real.
Well, where it's real now, I don't know, but it's before AI did.
Wow, look at that henge. Look at that ring of statues over there.
Yeah, that was done. That was done on purpose. There's a couple of these around the world. Actually, they put in. These are diving sites where you can go look at this stuff. They've been putting artwork under the water for a while now, in different locations. Which will be confusing if the future loses why they were put there. They'll be like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Don't make no sense for that. I don't know, what's this? I don't know what that is. Whatever, get the bird off of it. That's all new exoplanets they found.
6,000 exoplanets, it says.
Yeah, it's insane. See, these look fake.
Yeah, that's definitely AI or some kind of computer generated.
There you go. It says on Divin Art or something. At least they were being honest. Now
What?
this is exceptional underwater city off Cuba. New theory on its origins.
Yeah, they're saying Atlantis. I say Mu or Lemuria.
I didn't see any of this Roman style building on any of that shit.
No, and those columns we looked at last night were they didn't match any of the classic types.
See, they may have been wrong. So they always assumed the Rock of Gibraltar is where you found Atlantis, as where you went in between the two rocks. But now that we were talking about this Gulf thing, and it was 2,000 feet lower, there may have been like a channel that went into the Gulf from the Atlantic.
There may have been a Gibraltar there as well.
There. Good. Well, 2,000 feet, that's a decent sized mountain.
In the Gulf of America, Mexico, whatever you want to call it, is more circular, like Atlantis is supposed to be, than the Mediterranean or the Atlantic are.
Yeah, and being boxed in like that had been much more circular.
Yeah.
Well, the water would have been lower. They would have been sloping off the edges of all the shorelines around it. Yeah, it would have gave it like almost like a bowl appearance. I don't know, Jack. It's the problem for all this is we've always been taught that life came out of Africa. This challenges that.
Yes.
Not just this. There's been other stuff.
Strong's also have a strong argument, not to make a pun there with their name, but yeah, they have a strong out of Australia argument for Garden of Eden, and I don't disagree with them, and I don't disagree with Joe, but I don't agree that there was only one Garden of Eden. If there was only one Garden of Eden, then we would only have the one color of skin, but we don't. We have 4 or 5 different types and textures of skin, so there must be at least 4 or 5 different Gardens of Eden, if you want to call them that, where we were originated or created, if you will.
Might have been something different.
Hey, Heidi.
There may have been the original creation, and then the interbreeding of the creation.
Hey, Heidi.
Because you can't, anywhere you go, you can't start out with two people. You'll end up with a retarded population. So,
yeah.
So we already know that's not true. And we know that there were more than likely, there was probably little spots on the earth where populations started on. And those, well, we already know there was Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon and other stuff. So we already know there was other populations. So, and we know that eventually we interbred with them and created the populations here today. Yes, the asshole population. Speak for yourself, Gene. I'm a sweetie pie. Sean's an asshole. I'm sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh? I don't know. That little harem he's got says he's mean as shit.
What is that? That's fake.
I put them to bed.
I think that might be legit. Let's see. We'll find out for sure. We're going to find out right now. I saw a name that made me think it was legit, but then when I backed up away from it, it looked kind of cartoonish. Okay. Well, I'd like to get my hands on that wheel. Oh, y'all can't see it, but I'd like to get my hands on showing a wheel on a sunken ship. Oh, yeah, it is legit. Okay. It was abandoned. It doesn't say when. It just says it was abandoned. It wasn't sunk when it was abandoned either. Well, there are a lot of cool shipwrecks out there.
More than you think.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are intentional.
Yeah.
But no, James, we sunk a lot of ships to create reefs and stuff. Yeah. Well, you know, helps to put back some of the stuff we take out the ocean. Well, yeah. Humans can be pigs sometimes.
Yeah, it helps offset some of the damage, not so much what we take out of it, but offset some of the damage we do to it.
Oh, you mean that one we were just showing the Cuban one? Yeah. So what you're going to get with that, you're going to get an argument between 6 and 50,000 years. That's what you're going to get. People are going to argue because, you know, once they said that it would have been 50,000 plus years ago for the water to be that low, it changes everything. No, what it's telling you is 6,000 years ago, there was still been 2,000 feet of water there. That's what it's telling you. So there's no way it's only 6,000 years old. That's all they're telling you. No, they can pretty much track shorelines through sediment and stuff. Yeah, they're pretty good about that kind of stuff these days. No, I'm still looking for. I'm not looking for nothing yet. Oh, here we go. No. Sea org. Oh, I thought that was something else from CDC. Sea org. Shit. No. Still not found what I wanted. Damn it. Sometimes you look for stuff on the internet, it comes right up. Sometimes you're like, let's see. Let's see. All right, let's try this. Let's see. Correct some spelling there and see what we got. That's the Japanese one. Cuban, mysterious olds in the pyramids. See, now all of a sudden, since they changed it to 6,000 years, this is all over the place. So they deliberately changed how old this sighting, this city was, and then they flooded the internet with it.
Wow, yeah.
No, Jack, it's never been 6,000 years. It's always been 15,000. And now these people are saying 50,000 because 6,000 years ago there was still that much water. Yeah.
Yeah, 2,100 feet is a significant increase in ocean level.
And that's what they were telling. That's what we were telling you earlier. 50,000 years ago, it would have had to have been.
Well, it was before that big blob of water hit us that came off of either Tiamat or Mars or both. Or a big giant ice ball that came from within the outer atmosphere and destroyed those planets. Whatever the reason is, something increased our water and flooded the planet.
Oh, yeah. Look, they're seriously trying to change all of this. So this is Yahoo and Google summary. Yuhunka, Japan, oldest at 10,000. Dwarka, India, 5,000. Atlantis, 11,000. And the lost city of Cuba, 6,000. Oh, man, people, they are trying to change history on y'all. You better watch out.
It's fixing to. Should have been changed a while back. As soon as we started finding this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, they trying to mess with you people.
It's working.
That sucks that you got to watch. No, well, we know we were here when it originally happened. That's like items. Okay, potentially sunken city has been discovered off the coast of Louisiana, 12 to 17,000 years old.
Wow. That is also highly significant.
Predating all known civilization on Earth.
Yeah.
Mysterious ruins off sparks theories. Yes, let's see if we want to see them, dumbasses.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about some of those articles. They tell you all this stuff, new things found, photos inside. You get there's like one photo.
I'm like, show me the city.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm interested in stuff. Let's see, hundreds of buried buildings stretching across the seabed, a 280-foot tall pyramid described as emitting electronic energy that allegedly interferes with navigational compasses. Fishermen bitch about this area on a regular basis. Granite blocks that, according to Joe, do not naturally occur in Louisiana. I don't know that. The structures reported to lie 30 feet underwater and are buried beneath an additional 100 feet of sediment.
Wow. Crunch.
Let's see. Still, people, I would like a picture. Yeah. Historians remain skeptical. Yeah, I bet you do. Obviously, though, it exists. So, and they're not coming off the 12,000 year ago thing. The dating of 12,000 years ago.
They're also not providing any pictures. You would think there's some guy on site taking lots and lots of them.
Let's see. Well, they're doing everything they can to debunk it. I'll tell you that much. That's funny. It's not even barely out there. And they're trying to debunk it. See, they do their own self harm when they do that kind of stuff. They don't get it, you know. It just pisses people off, and then they don't want to be bothered with whatever you're doing.
Well, that thing they do get. They do get getting people pissed off. They're very good at doing
We're
it.
Sean.
Yeah.
We're fine, Sean. He was supposed to take us to break.
Oh, Sean.
Bad, Sean. He's bad.
Where'd he go? You there, Shawnee?
I'm here just playing with my fan. It's so freaking hot up here.
Oh, I thought you said you were
Oh.
playing with your thing. I got really scared.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's too old. It don't even get up, buddy.
That thing, yeah, don't scare me like that, man. Well, hey, man, that's what that blue shit's for. We'll buy you some of that, man. What is it called? Gold blue. I see commercials for this shit every day, man. It's insane how many commercials there are for this.
Yeah, you can get it in gummies now.
Let's see. Okay, so this will help prove what we were talking about. Let's see. Let me put this up on the screen.
Yeah, there we go.
So this is a picture of the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
Me, Gulf of America.
I'm sorry, fucking Gulf of America. The Federal Bureau of America.
The Gulf. There it is.
So here's a tip of Florida, and here's Cuba. So this would have all definitely been raised up here.
Yep.
Down here somewhere, which is not going to let us see, it would have been where the water came through.
The Gulf may have been just a pond.
Yeah. Well, there would have been this. This would have still been the Gulf. This big circular area. This might have been on the water right here back then. Or maybe not, because the water had been lowered. So there might even been more land. So really what you're probably seeing is this would probably all have been land. Where the shelf is right here, this would have probably all been land. All of this would have probably been land. And this would have been water. And then they would have had some kind of thing. Maybe right here where they show you this little drift through, may have been what filled it up. So there may have been water in front of the city at one time. But obviously you could see where the Gulf could have been easily closed. I know, very weird. 12 years ago, let's see, in the Chandler Sound east of New Orleans, it's found in base decade sonar images. Personal diaries to the site. According to this, these formations, composite granite rock, are just not naturally found in Mississippi or Louisiana. Don't mean that they're. They
Katie
fly
Kirk.
over.
God, I thought she had retired. She still was. Actually.
What?
Katie Kirk.
What?
I thought she was retired.
No.
She was.
A transit global. What? I'm missing something in it. Something's not translating in my head.
Is revealing a recent health.
Oh, never mind that. If I gotta watch commercial, yeah. So what was I looking for?
Baby Trump
Mish.
news.
Michelle. Me Shelley, what you doing, me Shelley? You got your bow on and your big gown. Yeah, I could see you in one of them antebellum dresses from back in the day. Let's see. These people are so pathetic with pictures of tits.
It's essentially clickbait without the pictures, you know?
Well, a lot of them are. They don't want to show you no pictures for some reason. No, Jack, the Gulf's way deeper than most people think it is. I think it's up to 8,000 feet or something. You'd have to get Jay to ask Google, but I think that's what it is.
Hey, Google, what's the depth of the Gulf of Mexico?
The average depth of the Gulf of Mexico is about 5,300 feet.
There you go.
Its deepest point, known as the 6 feet deep, reaches approximately 14,383 feet.
I know I got
14,380 feet is the deepest point.
Yeah, I remember they had a really deep spot in it. It was deeper than some of the oceans.
Well, where do you think all the aliens hide?
14,000 feet is down here, man. The pressure down there is pretty good. Well, no, James, they do say aliens hide in the marinara trench. The marinara, like, is in the sauce. The marinara sauce.
It's the Marianas Trench.
Yeah, I know. This was just too funny. I was repeating something I was reading. Oh, God, I was thinking, yeah, that's good. I could go dip some cheese sticks in it. The end of the world as we know it. No, there's quite a few of these cities that no one knows where they came from, why they're there. It bothers everybody because they predate known civilization. Remember, Sumerians are supposed to be the start. Sumerians and Mesopotamians are supposed to be the start, even though they fight with the Egyptians about that too. Regardless, that little area was supposed to be the start. But if this is true, that area was not the start. That was just something else.
I think Egypt and like the Mayans and the Toltecs, and then the pyramids in Asia, Angkor Wat, and that kind of thing. I think all that were remnants of whatever civilization was here, what they built after everything was destroyed by whatever destroyed it. Maybe the Great Flood. Probably the flood.
Probably the flood. Let's see. We don't care about those cities. You know, and when you ask this thing about sunken cities, it wants to give you ones that, have happened in the last 3,000 or 4,000 years.
The others are too new, I guess.
Hey, Joe, Mish wants to know what's up.
What?
She wants to know what's up.
That's what's up. Hold on. I got to get this off my screen. Right now, what's up is how come there's sunken cities around the world. And we weren't told about it. That's what's up.
I've been saying it for years, long before I was even on this network, that we're going to find most of our answers under the water. You need to look. If you want to look for archaeology sites, look underwater.
Jack, so about a decade ago, a submarine, it was an Asian submarine. I can't remember if it was Chinese or Japanese or who it was. But anyway, they took a picture of an underwater city that looked like Chicago. It was underwater. There was a whole entire modern civilized city just sitting there underwater, antennas, the whole 9 yards. They took a picture of it. Best you could tell, there was no lights or nothing. But what was weird is all the buildings looked intact, all the glass looked intact. That was a very strange photo. It can't be real. I mean, if it is, then there's some modern city underwater that we don't know how it got there. At least the ancient ones we could speculate.
But there's one, Lake Lanier. There's a city called Lanier, Georgia. When they made the I don't know what the dam's name is, but when they made the dam, Lake Lanier was created over this city, and they just everybody evacuated. There's like cars, like houses. Some of the houses have full furniture in them, some don't. And people in the area of Atlanta, they go there to Lake Lanier and they go scuba diving and they swim inside and out of these houses and things that are on the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
So they're all
There's
over the
that-
place.
They're like, there's I think three or four cities like that in the U.S. where they sunk them to. Yeah, no, what they did is they were in like a basin, Jeff, and they built a dam, and then they filled up the basin, and the cities were still there, so they left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I imagine they took anything out like gas stations or anything that would be harmful to the water because it's trying to be drinking water. I never checked to see if they took the graveyards out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you do with a citywide full of corpses? You know.
Well, there's been other times that we've relocated cemeteries. Yeah, they've been places, I think, like in LA and other big cities and other places. Yeah, dead people aren't safe either, man. Because, a lot of times dead people get prime property. And then later on, the realtor's like, well, that's prime property. Shouldn't the dead people be back there in a swamp somewhere? Yeah, I mean, do you want to give your grandma your Gulf or your ocean view so that you can live in an apartment inside of a city somewhere?
Mhm.
What was that? I heard the dog.
Yeah, that was on your end, I think.
Yeah, no, that was definitely my end. Right? Somebody snorted.
Yeah, my dog's considerably more bass than your dog's.
Oh yeah. Mine makes it sound like that. I'm gonna be like, what's up, man? What's up, man? Let's see.
That'd be kind of weird, Mish.
Still not what I'm looking for. Tonight I pulled this up. First time tonight. It's the pain in the ass to find what I'm looking. Let's see. Maybe this. Notable
This is why I
sunken
rarely
cities.
prepare things because you usually wind up not doing what you prepare anyway.
Well, we do sometimes. Sometimes we don't. Okay. So now they've got this one in Cuba still on the, I guess it's the lower southwest side now. Now, Jack, when you look at an aerial shot of where Cuba is in Florida and right below it, it's just water channels. There's several islands of land. At one time, those islands were probably the top of mountains. Yeah, well, if the water was 2,100 feet lower, think about how Cuba's already sticks out the water a good bit. And if there was 2,100 feet less water, it would have been the tops of it. It would have been mountains. Is what it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, think about it. Cuba would be a mountain if the water were down another 2,000 feet.
So that's what it is. And basically, that's what Cuba is a mountain in the water. It's just sitting there. Jimmy, there's a lot of weird sunken stuff around the world. Let me see what this one says.
See you, miss. Have a good day.
What bothers me the most is they just don't have. They're just not putting forward that many of the pictures from Cuba. No, they're just not. They show like 3 pics, 3 standard pics. That's it. 3 different shots of one shot. Nothing else. Nothing zoomed in. Nothing. Because obviously there's something there that is unsettling to them.
And nothing cleaned up or digitally enhanced or any of that thing to get better detail. So yeah, they know something's going on there.
Yeah. Who do you want to run for president? AOC. Well, you're a fucking dumbass.
Who?
AOC. They want
Oh
AOC.
my God, are you kidding?
So you want AOC and Akeem Jeffries. So you must have seen the thing about Harris and Akeem Jeffries.
Yeah. also a bad ticket.
I may have to go with Jesse Waters if that happens and move to Mexico.
Yeah.
Even though the girl down there right now is pretty liberal too, so I don't know. Maybe Argentina. Maybe Jamaica, man. Let's go to Jamaica. I can grow some dreads. Yeah, I can dread it out. No, Jack. So science had a couple of reasons on why they thought that shit. Can't get it out of my mouth. Why they thought that ghosts aren't ghosts, like did things. Yeah. Well, anytime you get into this subject matter, it gets touchy really fast. So that we know of for sure, probably 100 billion people have died on this planet since humans were created. That's a lot of souls going a lot of places. And if every generation roughly has just a dozen ghosts, the other side now with ghosts would be just tens of thousands.
Well, think about this: if everyone is correct that not just humans, but certain animals, most of the mammals, and maybe not insects, bugs and spiders and whatnot, but at least most of the mammals probably have a soul. So think about all the vast animals that are on the planet that are getting souls, and then if there's life throughout the universe, there must be a shit ton of souls to fill these containers.
That's why CERN opens up all these black holes so everybody can go into a black hole.
And be crushed into nothingness. Fuck that.
But you're dead. All you are is energy. That's all you are.
You're not even that. You're a particle merged with 100 billion other particles smashed into another particle that's held down so tightly that gravity that even if you fart, it can't get away.
Yeah.
Which means if all you humans are farting together, you're dying from the smell. It's no, Gene. I mean, well, black holes. If CERN created a black hole, our planet would be gone.
Yeah.
Maybe a micro black hole. It might be okay because micro black holes do open up from time to time around the place. But I'm not talking about CERN. They just open up in our planet from time to time. Yeah, the two CERNs, the two little mini CERNs that are in Louisiana found micro black holes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and CERN did open somewhat during their experiments, but they don't last. They close somehow.
Yeah, no, there's two of those in Louisiana. Not one, two colliders. Yeah, that was quite a bit older than CERN.
So here's my point. Here's why do they want to know when two atoms collide? What's it prove?
Well, they're looking for energy sources. So when you smash atoms together, they produce energy. And some atoms you'll be able to harness.
You have 10,000 scientists and other people working on this, engineers. Okay, and you know for a damn fact that all 10,000 of them people are going to agree with the findings that CERN has. You know there's going to be, come on, Joe.
So, no, I know. I'm going to prove you wrong right now. So when they discovered the Higgs boson, it was a big fucking argument. So most of the time, science has got egos, just like everybody else, and their egos get in the fucking way. And it costs us even today. We lose out on discoveries because somebody don't want something to come out because of an ego. Look at Gorilla Glass. But the point is they're not going to agree. So we're going to get the data no matter what. It's going to be published, and we'll decide whether we believe the scientists or not. Because they always talk about stuff that's not peer reviewed, but just because it's not peer reviewed doesn't make it unreal science. It just makes it unpeer reviewed. And just because other scientists don't agree with something doesn't always make it wrong. So we have to live with that because we know science is wrong more times than it's right. It's just the nature of the beast. As we get more advanced, that'll change. But right now, it's still that way. For every one's great discovery, there's 5,000 missed ones or destroyed ones. And remember this: a lot of the greatest discoveries were discovered by accident.
Yes.
So and by accidents because we were doing experiments that we probably shouldn't have been doing, and we found something out. So CERN's a dangerous thing, but in the end, it is something that will benefit us. If they come up with a new particle that they can just collide two particles together that has no radiation and doesn't cause any off products, but creates an X amount of energy, then they have a new free energy supply. And that means you and I don't have an electric bill.
Okay.
Nice.
So there are things that CERN is doing. It's not just that. There's other types of particles they're looking for that can help speed up healing and things like that. It's just a lot. But again, I have to iterate. At any given time, they could smash the two wrong particles together and then wipe out the planet. Just poof. Whoops. There was a cute human race there a few minutes ago. What happened? Oh, well. They exploded some particles together and now they're toast. Because a lot of these particles have could have high yield energy if done right. Johnny, the Higgs boson is enough to change our lives permanently. It's like AI. It's one of those things that if it really works the way they say it does, it's going to revolutionize a lot of things. Well, look, dude, when I was born, when I started driving, we'll do it easier. When I started driving, I drove an all-steel car with no airbags, no seat belts, no fucking nut, didn't even have an air conditioner. You know, and if you hit something with it, if you hit something small with it, you probably destroyed something. If you hit something else with more steel, well, you don't want to get skunked. Now I can call whatever we call it, Ubu, whatever you call them. You know, pick me and my friends up. I can have cocktails. Someone let you smoke weed, just hang out, ride, let it do all the job. No stress, no mess, no muss. You know, it's a different world. And now, you know, I'm looking at trying to buy myself a flying car. Fuck. If I can find one for the right price, I'm buying it, bitch. It's yeah, I want to find. Yeah, y'all see me. I'll be out in the yard flying around. Ooh, hey, what's happening, man? I got a flying car. I'm gonna name it the Jetson. No, Jack, we're nowhere near Jetson flying cars. So. I wish, but we're nowhere near Jetson flying cars. No, because they fold up. We do have fold up cars, though, mind you. Yes. We do have transforming vehicles now. There's one, it's a badass 18-wheeler that transforms into a standing missile launcher. It's a beast. Yeah, it's all connected together. Well, we're getting more and more like that. You mean like Bumblebee? As far as I know, we're making Bumblebees. What are you doing down there? You better stop causing trouble.
I was going to call more. Yeah, you said that.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Well, I'm Joe. Hungry. Nice to meet you. That's why I was late with y'all. I set up the show early, and I said when I seen y'all in there, I said, "Good, I can order me a hamburger." So I ordered me a Burger King because I was starving. So I wanted to eat. Oh, I'm very relaxed. Look, oh yeah. You want to do what? No, I don't think so. Now this is a PG-13 rated show, young lady. All right, it's R17. It's still. There's no such thing as R17. Hey, Colleen, how you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Joe. Who is Sean Stevenson?
Name sounds familiar there.
It just popped up on my freaking phone. Something about who's monkey with words under the moniker S.J. Stevenson.
S.J. Stevenson, he was a guest on Arthur's Quill earlier today.
So why did you not tell me that there was a Sean on your show?
I didn't think about it. He's the Brit.
Oh, he is?
He's a Brit, yeah. He's the one I tortured at Writers of the Future.
Oh, okay. Did
He's
he win?
a nice guy. Yeah, he's one of the winners. Yeah, he's a winner. Yeah, you don't get to go if you're not a winner. Yeah. You have to be a winner to go. But,
you know what it was funny? I was thinking of getting AI to write me a 17,000 word story and send it in to you guys.
You can send it in, but they're pretty good about catching it. They actually have software that looks right.
Okay, Colleen Benson, Joe says, "Hi, Joe, UFO Undercover."
Yeah, Colleen, I've been knowing Colleen a long time. I won't say how long because I don't want to give away how she's an ancient one, but it's all been a long time. Colleen was back with us when we still had the UFO alien phenomena. I thought about opening that group back up to. I miss it sometimes. Belinda, UFO alien phenomena group was an online support group for contactees. Well, actually, just for experiences in general, because we had a lot of paranormal people there too.
Many, many years, she says.
Oh yeah, it was many. It's been a many, many, many. No, I said Pal Talk. We don't. I always forget to crank it up. I've been wanting to start using it again, but I don't know if I'm going to put it under a radio name or if I'm going to put it under UFO alien phenomena. That group was for a decade. Was a solid group, open every day, 24 hours a day. Always had a great group of admins. Well, that's what made it popular. Is it had a good group of admins. It was always open.
Oh, and Colleen said, "And Joe, your birthday's in January and mine is in May."
Yes. She just letting y'all know that we know each other. That's all. It's no, we've talked many, many, many years. Yeah, she was actually one of the admins in the room we're talking about. Yeah. I really have been thinking about opening it back up.
LOL.
Yeah, laughs out loud, you fucking idiot. Hey, you can't call me that. Shame on you.
Yep.
What you doing? What you doing? You want to go ghost chasing?
I'm dreaming of my bologna sandwich I'm going to have after this.
Glenn, no, the people at CERN agree with me on ghosts or dimensional bleeds. Because CERN has probably tried to cross dimensions a couple of times. So they may have seen themselves in the other dimension trying to cross into this dimension. Yeah, that's why they understand that some things might be dimensional bleeds.
You know what, Joe? I finally realized after all the years I've known you.
Oh my God, what's up?
You're hard to debate.
Yeah, well, because I practice.
You are really hard to debate.
Well, it just depends. You got to catch me on a topic I'm not familiar with, which isn't. There's not many of them, but there are a few. Being in the field, because I've been in so many different fields and I've been in so much different things in my life and so many different connections that you just learn a lot. That's all. You just.
Oh, Colleen just spilt some tea on your ass. She said, "I've even been in the Honey Island swamp with you."
Yeah, down in the bayou. She was down in Louisiana with us.
What other tea do you got, Colleen, that he hides from us? I got to show my face.
That's it. Okay. What is it, Denise? Well, the thing is, if I start using Paltalk again, I won't let y'all text me on Messenger no more.
Why do people keep asking you that? She goes, "Oh Lord." Why do people call talking about Paltalk, man? Why?
Because it was a great chat place.
That's what it was like 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, there would be 50, anywhere from 10 to 50, 100 people in there when your show started. And they already knew what your topic was going to be and what you're going to be talking about, so they were waiting for it. So when they asked fucking questions, they asked pointed questions. No fluffing around, no bullshit. Matter of fact, that audience followed me around a long time. I took them on Coast to Coast with me, Ancient Aliens, a couple of other places that we've done live stuff, conferences. It's because they were such a well-informed audience that you knew they were going to ask point, and a lot of them were experiencers. So when they asked you a question, it was a well thought out, hard thought question, and I got used to answering those. Now I get asked fluff questions. A lot of the younger researchers are scared to talk to me. So I was talking to a guy just recently. He said, "I want to bring you on my show." He said, "But you're so fucking matter of fact. I'm scared of it." I'm like, "Why? You wanting to debate or something? Or you wanting to talk?" He said, well, might not always agree with you. I said, well, that's fine. I'm not going to kill you or nothing. Oh, no, Mr. Joe. That's how he said it to you. He goes, oh, no, Mr. Joe. I know you're in charge of military doctors. I don't want to go there, man. I don't want to be one of them. I was laughing. But it came out recently. There's a file on me. Anyway, there's a file that basically says I've run all military abductions in the United States, and I was the chief spy for the U.S. Navy when it came to bleeding information from countries on extraterrestrial origins. I was like, really? What? That's cool. I didn't know all of that. Well, I was a spy. Yeah. Yeah. Did I have to kill anybody? I can't tell you. No, but they were all named Sean. I can tell you that.
The only way to go, buddy. The only way to go.
No, I see, that's not how it is. You see, you got to watch what I'm doing. When I'm pushing, when you get the head, it's all about the way you push and pull at the same time, so it creates double friction. So you're pushing the head one way and pulling it the other way, so it doubles the snapping power.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I shouldn't have told y'all that. Shit.
Oh man.
Strike that last part of the show. We're gonna have to go delete that.
No, man. No. I'm gonna call Michelle right now. I'm gonna call
Oh,
her
Michelle will love it. She might use it on Wayne if you don't watch his ads. How'd you know that, Chris? Oh, you seen her on her show? Yeah, she's been under the weather. The demon gave her the flu again. Yeah, she's got a little demon. She just
No, dude, she needs a new casket. She really does need a new casket.
I'm telling you, it's this little demon. The man, she likes to call him. He's a demon. Because she's gonna kiss him no matter what. Sick, that snot running out of his face. She's still loving him, and you know she's gonna get sick. Grandmas are the worst. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, they're the worst.
Hey, have you heard from Amelia at all?
I talked to her just yesterday. Matter of fact, when I talked to her earlier today, she said she wasn't feeling that well. She was going to go out and get a checkup. I've been trying to get her to come do a show with us. I'm trying to get her to come do a crime show on the network. Jack, we're talking about Amelia Pisano. She used to co-host with Michelle DeLucia. Yeah. No, they didn't have a falling out. No, there was a lot of things that went on, some of which I'm not privy to talk about. There was just stuff going on in Amelia's life, and it had to be dealt with, and so she had to take some time off. And what happens is when you take too much time off, you get used to it, and then you don't have the same feel. But no, once you get back doing it again, you'll get right back into it. But it takes a little more oomph to get you to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, because you get into these lazy routines. Like watch a little TV, eat a little food, have a little sex, have a little champagne, have a little more sex, have a little more champagne, eat some cookies, pet the dog, have some more sex.
Jay, are you okay, buddy?
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Jay said he has that much sex, he's going to be in a hospital.
Yeah. The way my kidney's working right now, I'm probably going to be in the hospital sometime next week.
Oh, them fucking kids.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to come up with a pill that they can give you
Dr.
to help.
McCoy had it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he did, but we don't. We need. What do your kidneys are? Well, like I get kidney stones, and then I get big ones, but they don't take them out. And then sometimes the big ones, I get disappear. Well, one of my doctors told me sometimes he said I get like hard ones, but he says he thinks it's the kind that may dissolve on their own sometimes. Yeah, they do sometimes break. It depends what they are. If they're calcium, there's a couple of things that stones can be. They can be made by a couple of things. Calcium is the most common, usually due to dehydration, but that's not by any means the only way. Pill binders will give you kidney stones too. If you take a lot of pills, pill binders will give you kidney stones. Binders are the thing that hold the powder together when they squish it. Yeah, so it's a binder. It's in the pill, and when they put it in a little press to press the pill, that's what helps hold it together. Yeah, they don't like. No, they're not anything that really hurts you in any way, other than it helps cause a kidney stone. But it's not like it causes cancer or anything. No, I guess because if they didn't, even when you press them, some of them might turn back to dust again.
They would turn back to powder. Yeah.
Well,
They're
no,
basically like they're made like sweet tarts, the candy sweet tarts. Only the sweet tarts don't have the binder agent put into it, or if they do, it's in a lesser form. So it's because they crumble so
also,
easily.
Dean, I think the binder also helps regulate how fast a pill is distributed to the blood system.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Especially some of my pills are like the blood pressure pills. I take them once a day, and
Yeah.
I mean they're little
Oh.
tiny things. I mean they're smaller than an aspirin, and you take them once a day. So I can't imagine that little pill lasts the whole day if it dissolved right away. So it must sit in there and trickle out over a couple of hours.
Yeah, they give me one for my pulse rate and one for my blood pressure. But right now, my blood pressure is, I checked it earlier today, it was 128 over 81. So,
Hey, Joe, do you know John Schuessler?
yeah, I've interviewed him.
He passed away this week.
Oh, what a shame, that good bastard. John Slushler was the head of MUFON.
Yeah,
He
founded
started.
it.
No, he didn't. He didn't found it. What's his name? Founded it. His name went right out of my head when you said that. But anyway, we worked for the guy who founded it. He started out. I don't know why his name's Walt Andrews. That's who founded it. And he was when he died, he had all kind of information at his house in Texas. That MUFON never went and got. I talked to his wife about it. MUFON never went and retrieved it. No telling how much information they lost there, or they didn't even care about. But John Slushler took over MUFON for a while, and then it was Cameron and James, and then whoever's there now. I have interviewed every director of MUFON except for the current director. I've never interviewed the current director. So eventually I'll send him an invite to the show. But, I'd like to know what they're up to, what they've been doing, how organizations changed, or anything along those lines.
Any new data?
Well, no, MUFON does alien abductions now, but not like we do. But yeah, they do. Yeah. No, they only started tracking abductions because of me. Well, we'll say because of ICAR, but that's why. They weren't doing it when we started. The STAR team came 10 years after ICAR's founding. Yeah, because people were stopping to go to MUFON because sightings are great. You go to report a sighting at MUFON, but that's all they were doing. They couldn't really help contactees. Contactees were looking for help. Yeah. And they're still not real good about it. Their little STAR team is what cost them Bigelow's money. Yeah. Well, no, because they started flying first class and stuff and buying all this expensive equipment and had no results. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you sure? No, I was a member of MUFON. I was one of their lead investigators. I actually was one of their lead analysis is what it was. So was Linda. We did a lot of work for them. And we did the original first abduction, a study of 5,000 people that had reported being abducted to MUFON. It was the first abduction criteria study ever. Yeah, it was one of my very first projects I ever did in ufology as a project. Or I should say as a project manager. Yeah. Well, John Slushler was actually Black Ops. He worked for the companies he worked for did all Black Ops programs for the company. And he's not the 4 out of the 5 last MUFON directors had Black Ops eyes.
Wow.
Is that your German Shepherd, Jay?
You can hear that? Yeah, that's Admiral. Yeah, he's out in the back.
Okay.
Someone must be walking by the fence.
He's like, look, fucker, get away from the fence. No, we're getting ready to go, Glenn. Why? What do you got? Your mom is pregnant and your daddy's ugly. That sounds like a person. No, he was talking about the John Sluicer from Who Fought Nate passed away. Yeah, he was. There's interviews you can see. There's an interview or two that I did with him on these. Actually, I got to get into some of the old interviews and break them out because there's a couple people who are dead now. I'd like to get their interviews out. And what was his name? The one that blew his brains out.
David Wilcock.
Yeah, I got some interviews with him I want to find and some other stuff. I met David a couple of times at different conferences. He was all right. He didn't give me any reason not to like him. I mean, not agreed with him all the time, but because I don't have to dislike somebody if I don't agree with their beliefs in something. It's not a thing for me. Yeah, we're getting ready to get. Why? What you got? Sean's your daddy. Where you live? You live in Boston, and your mama's name is Mary, and Sean's your dad.
There you go. Yep. Colleen says she misses David Wilcock. Colleen said.
Yeah, he was an interesting character. What's that, Mike? Who Mr. Lips out all that you followed this on there? DeAndre.
I have family in Boston. I got family in Chicago.
Sean saying you're his daddy and you was doing his mama Mary back in, when was it, 77? Damn, that's a long time ago, dude. You sure? Send me a picture. You say you look just like him. Send me a picture. You look like Santa Claus? What do you mean I'm being a smart ass? Sure looks like Santa Claus, man. Give me a break. No, right now he's in disguise. He's in disguise right now. He had the beard short and stuff. Yeah, you don't want y'all to know he's Santa Claus. You know, you got enough once as it is.
Yep. It's too damn hot to shave.
You know, people ask me all the time when they come down, you wear a beard in Louisiana? I said, yeah.
Keeps the flies out of your nose.
Actually, when you sweat, it keeps your face cool.
Yes, it does.
It's people always think it makes you hot, but once you start sweating, it makes you cool.
Yeah, if you look at most men in the Middle East, they all have full beards.
I know that 2 floors down from where I'm at, there's a freaking bologna sandwich waiting for me.
This is Sean and this damn bologna sandwich. Give me this. All right, y'all. We're gonna mind meld this sandwich and make it disappear. Send it to the future, a couple of days in the future. So when he's walking by a table, it just pops up. Oh, wow, look, that's my bologna sandwich. What do you mean? Where did I get that from? Oh, you mean what I was just saying? That came from an episode of Orville. Yeah. They send a banana and a sandwich in the future, and a chicken salad or something in the future, and then the guy's walking around saying something about he's hungry, and all of a sudden this chicken salad sandwich appears. Yeah. Orville could have been good. It wasn't, but it could have been. It had potential. Maybe Elon Musk is learning from that planet there where all the robots used to live, killed all the humans off. So what happens if, we send all these robots to Mars and they build all this great complex, and then humans show up and they're like, well, what the fuck are you doing here? This ain't for you. Then we have to kill all the robots off? I don't know if that's a good way to start out. What's that, James? No, we got to go. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio. You can catch Sean tomorrow night It's Sunday night, so it's pole dance night. So be sure to come by and check.
Oh yeah, Sean's taking
It's,
off everything.
Yeah, that's why we don't log into the view part when we're watching. So we're like, okay, we'll just leave the audio on here. I heard some woman cat calling him last week though. So swinging in.
Good
the
night,
breeze.
Colleen.
Hey, how is Cat doing anyway?
Colleen, be good, sweetie. No, Denise. No, Sunday's only got 2 shows right now, so it's a good spot if you're looking for a show. ATP and then Sean. He don't have any competition on Sunday. No, he's consistently ahead. She's good though. Show's growing every week. On Tuesday, the only competition he's got is from his girlfriend.
CL.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I boost her numbers for her.
Oh, see, something I can do over. See, y'all give up some numbers for CL. Shame on you, shame on you. Anyway, guys, we really got to go before we get our ass.
Yeah. Don't forget, it's Don't Whistle at Night following this show tonight. Don't Whistle at Night, Dawn and Darren Yazzie.
Yeah, they'll be on in just a couple of minutes. So again, I want to thank y'all again for tuning in to United Public Radio and the chat. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Until next week, have some fun, enjoy your life. I'm not back till Wednesday. So y'all go out. You know, Claire, you are the 3rd person to ask me why don't I do a show on Monday or Sunday. Because I don't know if I want to. I don't think. Anyway, on that note, good night, everybody, and hang out for Whisper. See y'all Saturday. See y'all
Good night.
Wednesday.